what do you call it? How are you gonna have what's her name? Oh, Naomi. Tell me, this is like lazy writing? How are you gonna have Naomi versus Charlotte Flair the week after you show me Ronda Rousey picked Charlotte Flair to fight at WrestleMania? Tell me how that makes any fucking sense at all. So now, as a fan, I'm supposed to sit here and I'm gonna believe that Naomi's gonna beat Charlotte Flair for the title. Like, what? Like, you making shit that the fans already know what's gonna happen. Like, why don't you do something? Like, wouldn't it throw us off our game if Lita beat Becky at the Elimination Chamber and Lita became the Raw Women's Champion? Oh shit! Like, you didn't expect that to happen because you're thinking, she gonna beat. Now what's Mania? Oh shit, is Mania this versus, like, you have no fucking idea. That builds more excitement. And then if you wanted to drop the title back to Becky or whoever at Mania, you could do that. But I feel like that you could, but I feel like they're just gonna do the same old shit. I was even thinking they haven't. I don't know if they did on SmackDown tonight because I barely watched it, but I noticed the poster for Elimination Chamber still has one woman missing in it. So they haven't revealed like who the final woman is. I was thinking, if it was me as a writer for WWE, why not just throw Ronda in that spot, Ronda Rousey? But she already chose, have her win the fucking Elimination Chamber. She challenging both of these chicks. Let's have a 3-way again and have somebody else, do the 2-belt thing again. Or like we said for the men's, or unify the fucking belts and just make one women's championship.
I mean, you could do that. You're already about to do that. Like, I'm gonna try to pretend like Brock Lesnar is not gonna win the Elimination Chamber. I really can't pretend like this nigga's not gonna walk in there and go,
wait, isn't the only guy I believe that's in that fucking wait, no, Bobby Lashley isn't fighting the Elimination Chamber, right? Yeah. Okay, so yeah, clearly we know who's gonna win the fucking Elimination Chamber. I wonder, man, right before Mania, I wonder who's going to draw in the most money at Mania for you to have in the main event. It's like, it's fucking obvious. Unless you wanted to try to throw us a curveball and Roman were to show up at some point and sabotage Brock again, like that, if you were going to do something like that, because I'd say when Roman showed up during Bobby Lashley versus Brock.
Oh, Bobby Lashley is in there. Remember, Bobby Lashley is the champion.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, he is in there. Because I was gonna say the last time that I watched a WWE match that actually was like, oh shit, and got me excited was when Roman Reigns showed up during Bobby Lashley and Brock, came over to Paul Heyman and just gave him a look. Paul Heyman handed him the title. This dude hit Brock with the belt. I say, yo, what year is it? 2022? All right, okay, cool. Probably since like 2015 or 2014 or however long. This is the first time that I had an actual shock value watching a WWE match and thought, oh shit, I did not see that coming. So how about we continue on that path for giving us some new stuff where, oh man, like I say Roman versus, you want to shake up the world and change thing? Roman versus Goldberg. How about Goldberg wins that match? And how about you have Brock win the Elimination Chamber? And how about we make it Goldberg? You want a WrestleMania match? How about Goldberg versus Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns? One man gonna walk out of that match with 2 belts. And even if it is Roman, you cannot tell me that match is not gonna make you all the money in the world. But at least it sounds more exciting than Brock versus Roman. Because you know what Brock versus Roman sounds like? Brock versus Roman sounds like Brock Lesnar's gonna win the Universal title. That's what it sounds, because that's what we've been building up. We've been building up to since he came back.
You on to something, and I'm just gonna say, hopefully, by the wrestling gods, there is some good writer in that room somewhere, and Mr. Man is having a good day, like he's eating before he hears their plan. Because if you remember, doing a little history, the last time they did a unification of the belts, it was a triple threat. Do you remember the 3 people that were in there?
Shit, no, I don't remember.
The Rock, Stone Cold, and Chris Jericho. Those are the
Oh,
three
there
people.
you go. And then
And
I
Chris
was gonna
Jericho
change,
won.
and then I was change that last part I said, which is like, you want to really shock the world? Give me Goldberg, Roman Reigns, Brock Lesnar, both belts on the line. When the smoke clears, Goldberg goes up to the thing with both belts. Roman and Brock ain't the fucking champ. Yeah, you'd be like, wow, did Goldberg just make fucking history? Yo. Like, wait, wouldn't that be some shit we haven't seen since like what? Since Seth Rollins that time? Remember, there was a time where Rollins won the fucking WWE title and the US title at the same time.
Yeah,
or Ultimate Warrior.
One of the things that makes that interesting is that for WWE, I'll honestly say has not had a real buzzworthy thing happen in a long time. When you realize the fact that you watch AEW twice a week and WWE comes on twice a week, if you look at both shows, there's always something that's like, yo, did you see AEW this week? Keith Lee came back. Like, there's something. And it's like, oh my God, did you see that?
I know we're going back and forth with the wrestlings, but I had the goosey bumps because not only did Keith Lee become Mr. All Elite, but they gave him similar music to his music from NXT. Not that bullshit he got when he came up to the Raw roster. I was like, yo, I'm listening to his music when he's going to the ring, and I was standing in front of the TV dancing on Bow to his glory, because that was the dope shit that he had when he first came. Like, dude, I'm so happy that he's over there. You fucking do something with him. You realize in the last 2 or 3 years, if you remember when we used to have conversations with Part-Time Eric and fucking Queen Universe, and we used to talk about wrestling, and you guys were over, Raw and SmackDown. I'd be like, guys, NXT, they're doing this awesome stuff. They got Keith Lee, they got Adam Cole. You guys like you didn't really give a shit about NXT, but I was telling you guys about those same guys, Adam Cole, Keith Lee, this person, Karrion Kross, and now all those people are in fucking AEW because what one person didn't see talent in, somebody else said, yo, these guys are dope and got a lot of potential.
Totally cool gimmick. Like, they actually make his gimmick in AEW makes me pay attention to him.
Like, literally, when I saw Adam Cole's next in line for against fucking Hangman, I was looking at that like, I don't know if he gonna win this time around. Because not only Adam Cole has the popularity, but he's also a big ass cheater. So I'm like, he got a lot of boys. So that he might smoke clear. He might be a new champ.
Let's do a little bit of writing there for a second. This is called good writing, WWE. Pay attention. For any WWE writer that wants to pay attention to how fans put together things or how AEW does it, Adam Cole, take him for a second. He's now look at the story that's being told there. If anybody remembers when Kenny Omega left to go and get his surgery done, he left and he was just like, yeah, I gotta go. He left. What was the last thing he lost? He lost the title to Hangman Adam Page. And he's also had a little bit of concern about Adam Cole coming there because he was just like concerned about him like trying to steal his spot with the Young Bucks or whatever. So there's that element of like, if he pat him on the back and say, hey man, you go have your surgery, you take care. And you come back and the fucking Young Bucks are the tag team champions again. And Adam Cole is the fucking world champion. And he comes back and he's looking down at his waist like, hey, you got what the fuck I like lost when it's like, well, you couldn't get the job done. I took care of Hangman Adam Page. So get to the back of the line, jerk off. And it's like, now you can rewrite the whole thing where you can put a good Kenny Omega again. And now you got Kenny Omega chasing after the belt again. And Adam Cole
against the guy I like to call modern age Triple H. Because I swear to God, there's not a wrestling fan in the world that can tell me that you don't look at Adam Cole's entire gimmick and you don't see Triple H.
I would say he's a part Triple H, but I will say that the other gimmick.
He's himself. He's himself. But I'm saying, like, what do you call? Like, it's awesome how you can see other wrestlers within other people. And when I look at like Adam Cole, his whole gimmick, his like the fucking clicks he's had, like this guy is literally Triple H back when he was first, with starting up with DX and all the other stuff.
I will say another person I know in AEW that they're using in comparison to WWE, because, hey, let's face it, WWE's been around longer than AEW. So the storylines we loved and grew up with mostly are going to be from there. But the one that I keep seeing that they're slowly building is Wardlow. Wardlow's storyline is basically Batista's storyline when he joined the Evolution. It's the same story. He's literally, like, at some point in time, I can guarantee you, Wardlow is going to get turned on before he turns on, because we're all like, oh man, Wardlow is getting mad. Wardlow's getting mad. Just remember the fact that MJF is standing around with a bunch of boys. Like,
he got Sean Spears, he got FTR. Yeah, they got a bunch of people.
You don't think Sean Spears a low blow Wardlow and FTR put him up and then move and Tony Blanchard to kick him in the face and MJF fucking like put him in an arm bar and like try to break his arm.
The problem is it enough to put Wardlow down?
The thing, we are watching two night and day situations. We are watching. I love what we're seeing here. We're watching modern day superstar building versus let's try to rehash old Hollywood and make it work again.
Well, they don't have any new stars, so they got to keep bringing back the legends. They got to, do. And the one guy that I feel like, I don't know why they didn't have him win. The one legend they brought back that ain't doing shit with really to me is Edge. Yo, there's so much potential there from this guy whose career got cut short, not because he wanted it to, but because of fucking, health and stuff, and had to cut his career short. Fucking trained and, did all shit for years so he could come. Yo, you gotta look at the dedication of Edge. That was fucking blood, sweat, and tears for years of training and probably being told by doctors like, nah, for years before somebody said, okay, you can do it. Just don't do this, that, and try to take it easy. Yeah, that's a yes. All right, like fucking what, 10 years? Yo, that was another one. That was another besides the Roman hitting Brock. Biggest pop in fucking over 10 years. Fucking Royal Rumble. I ain't never in my life thought I would see Edge come back. So I swear I almost pissed myself that night when his music hit.
I'm gonna tell you like this. One of the things that you can see that's kind of ass backwards with Edge, right? I remember when Edge first came back and he was talking about like being back after Royal Rumble. And the funny thing is that he came back and said that he basically came back and kind of said the same thing that CM Punk said, which was, I've been watching what's been going on and I see all of this young talent that's out here that I've never mixed it up with. And I want to mix it up with them. And when you look at how many people he's fought, the only new talent that he's fought, Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins. That's it. Everybody else.
Yeah, I was going to say, did he fight The Miz? I don't know if he ever fought The Miz. I don't even remember at this point. Probably like years ago. But
The Miz ain't new talent. Come on. The Miz has been around for way over 15 years. That's not new talent. I'm talking about new talent that wasn't around when he was around.
Yeah, he hasn't really fought any of the new talent. And honestly, they don't have a lot of new talent that they promote that well. They have here's the problem. They have a lot of new talent. Do they promote them well? No, they don't.
But okay? So the thing is, I'm gonna tell you right now, the only person that has benefited from even a little bit of a push, Matt Riddle. It's the only person I can think of.
I was gonna say, I'd say Riddle, and I'd even say Rey Mysterio's son. And I only say that because, like, I don't mean like, oh my God, but I mean, for me, what's happening with Dominic Mysterio is and this is just my own opinion, he's literally gaining experience through his dad before he retires. I swear to God that, like, I'm like, every week Rey Mysterio and Dominic come, they're a tag team. What? Maybe it's a coincidence they're a tag team. This dude is literally learning firsthand from his old man how to do this in ring, on the mic, how to do this, how to do that. Because think about the two of them. Who could still have a career like, let's say, 10 years from now? Like, probably not Mysterio. Rey Mysterio will probably retire at some point. But his son, he's literally shown his son the ropes, this, that. His son, think about it. His son didn't go to NXT like The Rock's daughter. Like, The Rock's daughter's in NXT training, and Dominic Mysterio came straight to the main roster.
Well, there's a couple reasons for that. I would say that that's called good contract negotiation, because I'm pretty sure in terms of, while I'll say speculation, I would say that if he came to Vince with the clout that he has as Rey Mysterio, he came to Vince and said, listen, my boy wants to come over here. I know you guys want the legacy of my boy here. He's, like, it's part me, part Eddie Guerrero, like all that family and everything. The Guerrero's family, they're a staple within the WWE, history and lucha history. And if you want him, the only way that I would be willing to bring him in is if you can allow me to be the one to bring him in. I have trained
probably him to bring him in, and even like I can mentor him. I can be there in the ring and all his matches. Just make us a tag team. Done.
It's funny because anybody who's there as a Rey Mysterio fan, nobody is going to like go. If you think about it, you're literally Dominic Mysterio is what we hope Brody Lee's son turns into, which is basically we've seen this kid many years ago, and not just in WWE, but in fucking WCW. So this kid has been there as we've grown up, and now we go, oh, this kid is old enough to be fighting in here like his old man. All right, let's see what he does. And they treat him like a fucking jobber. Like, he's not treated like a superstar. He's loses.
That's what I mean. I feel like he has a lot of potential. We don't know what it is yet, because right now he's still like, he's Dominic Mysterio, Rey Mysterio's son, and they do everything together. So like, we don't really get to hear Dominic on the mic. We don't really get to see him in singles competition that much. Every once in a while, they'll have him fight in a singles match. But even the singles match is accompanied by his dad at ringside, and somehow someone interferes and even beats up or tries to do something to Rey as well. And sometimes
that they have a slow build of, which I don't know if they're ever going to pull the trigger on it, which is there have been several times recently when he's had singles matches that the reason he's lost has been because of his dad.
Oh, yeah.
Like, because it's that, and it's like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. And Dom just like, as his son, he doesn't like get mad. It's just like, he might just leave the ring or just be like, it's okay, Dad. Like, so they're kind of have a slow, like they could pull the trigger on that if they wanted to.
As long as they don't do no dumb shit where he like beats up his own, and nobody want to see that. I'm gonna tell you right now, I don't want to see that bullshit. That's just fucking, that just wouldn't make sense. That would be like fucking Jeff. That would be like Jeff Hardy beating up Matt Hardy. I don't really care to see that bullshit.
I mean, I understand it. It's definitely a possibility. I wouldn't rule that out at all.
I mean, look at it's funny. I remember they said that years ago, and you still ain't never really seen it. Jay and what's the name? The Usos. How many times you seen the Usos fight each other as brothers? Yeah, they never done that storyline. And even when it looked like they might have done it, it ain't happened.
Yeah, even with the New Day, they don't fight each other either. They might be on different shows.
Yeah, it's like nah.
Okay, we can talk about WWE and AEW differences till we're blue in the face. The thing is that for me personally, before we move on to our next segment, so I just swatting the fly. The thing that I feel is drastically different between the television products that they're giving us is that for AEW, I feel like AEW is legitimately giving me a pay-per-view every week. And
yeah, because that match with fucking Hangman Adam Page and fucking Murder Hog, that was some pay-per-view worthy shit. I'm gonna tell you right now, my favorite part of that match they had for the AEW title this match
off of the referee back.
Huh? Oh, what? Not that. And when he did when he threw my man out the ring onto the fucking steel steps, he bounced. Boom! I was like, yeah. I was like, dead. He like killed him.
they killed each other in that match. And even there was a spot where like what's his face got involved. What the hell's the boy's name? Jake the Snake got involved for a second, and Murder Hawk like stopped him, like, no, like I want to do this on my own. And it is funny to me because like that match just had all. I would say I remember I was listening to somebody's podcast. I think it was Busted Open, and they were talking about. Oh no, it wasn't Busted Open. It was Hall of Fame with Booker T, and I forget the other guy's name. But one of the things he said, it was a small critique that he had for Dynamite. Dynamite was awesome, but Dynamite had so many big things happen that it was like, y'all could have like split that up into 3 different shows. They would like put it on all the shows.
I mean, they just have so much dope shit going on. But another thing I loved is I know we heard the rumors that somebody, we read online and saw that somebody new was coming. I love how I thought it was going to be CM Punk's opponent, tag team partner when MJF was like, you can find a tag team partner. I was expecting it to happen during that segment. They out of left field when fucking Private Party was and then Keith Lee showed up. And then the other guy too, I forgot his fucking name now. The other guy showed up during the segment with the Young Bucks. What's his name?
His name is Switchblade, but Jay White is his name.
Yeah. Like they did too. I was like, my God. And then they got, the other week they did the Dan Hussein. Like they've been on a roll. And it's so much, and it's funny because I'm like, there's so much more talent that they can bring in. Like, and then they take it, but most of the people that are like the biggest talent and the biggest stars so far are new people. it's new people. Like they mix it Jericho, but I mean Jericho's doing the Lord's work with the Inner Circle. He is doing his job to the fullest. So Jericho is literally there just to push all these other people. That's just like that's what he's there for.
We starting to break up. They're having problems, and I'm like, well, it's just makes sense. It's gonna happen at some point in time. It's just a matter of like when, because what's gonna happen is that I would say everybody in the Inner Circle, in my opinion, needs mic work. Everybody needs mic work. They have it.
Well, Santana and Ortiz are okay to me. They literally do seem like 2 legit guys from the hood. Like, yo, I'll fuck you up.
And like Sammy Guevara, he's another one. He needs a little bit more mic work. Jake Hager don't really need to say nothing because he's a fighter, so he don't need to say nothing.
Yeah, he's like another Wardlow to me, so he don't really have to say that much. Sammy's okay. Sammy's okay on the mic.
I'm gonna tell you the difference between so one of the things that AEW, I appreciate them not doing when they're bringing in these new people. Here's what's exciting about bringing in new people. You ready for this? When you bring in somebody like Keith Lee, what you're excited about more than anything else is not just the fact that you're seeing your boy Keith Lee from NXT again. You're excited about the new possibilities of matches that exist. There's a whole roster of people.
Cause they got John Moxley versus him, or Daniel Bryan, or whoever. Like, you never, or Wardlow, or like that's funny. I literally just said that. I think like maybe a week or so ago. I was like, man, if Keith Lee come out, I'd love to see Keith Lee versus Wardlow. That would be a dope match. and now it's a possibility. That's a real possibility.
I'm gonna name 3 people right now that would be a like huge match for him at Revolution. I'm pretty sure he's in that battle royal, so maybe he'll win, maybe he won't. We don't know. But here's the thing: you have Murder Hawk Monster, who both of them are actually friends. That's how I knew when I put it in the group chat when I was talking to you guys, you and Parts American and Queen of the Universe. That's how I knew it was Keith Lee, because I was listening to a podcast right before the same day as the show, and they were talking to Lance Archer about the world title match. And they were like, if you win tonight, what are some people that you would like to face in the future? And he's like, well, I'd like to face some people maybe that aren't even in AEW. People that I've had long roads with on the indie circuits, like Keith Lee. And he named some other people. And I was just like, man, I forgot Keith Lee. And then all I did was I Googled. I'm like, when does his contract run out? His contract ran out January 1st. Oh, okay. Keith Lee's coming tonight. I was like,
and Keith Lee, I would love to. That's somebody I'm gonna try to see if I can get on the show, because I would love to talk to him just to know what was that moment. Because I know, like, literally a few days, not even like a few days earlier, he just got married to Mia Yim, who also was in WWE.
Just got married on Saturday, and he was on AEW on Wednesday.
Yeah, so like when he came out on the ramp and he got that big ass reception he got when people excited, I would just love to ask him, how did it feel in that moment? Like knowing like, yo, I just like, cause I know they moved, they just got like a new place, he just got married, he got a new job. Like, so it's probably like the time of his life right now.
The crazy thing too is like his girl's been released too, so you know.
Oh yeah,
like,
we don't even know if Mia Yim may show up in freaking AEW.
And that's the thing too, is like you look at those situations, but one of the things that they're not forgetting, and it's so important, is they're not forgetting the fact that all of these people who are coming from NXT, from New Japan, from Impact, from wherever else in the wrestling community, they're coming to face AEW superstars. That's the number one thing that WWE right now, if they were to steal an AEW star right now, there's not a huge roster of people. They're fucking. Let me show you. You see this piece of paper? This is the roster of WWE right now. It's fucking paper thin. Like, who do you have? Like,
it's the same people, and they're doing the same things with. That's the problem. It's like it's not the people. Because it's not even the NXT people. Like, the current people they have on NXT, I have no knock on them. It's what they're doing with them is the problem. It's like, oh, wait, what they got AJ Styles doing? Oh, AJ Styles, oh, right now he doing favors. AJ Styles? Yeah, what about Finn Balor? Yeah, he just doing favors. What about Randy Orton? Yeah, he just doing favors. It's like, what? So that's what they all doing? Like, what?
You have two. I'm gonna put it to you this way, and somebody can correct me in the comments. At the time of the recording of this show, it is currently 2022, and what day is it? It's the 12th, right?
Yep.
The 12th of February, 2022, as we record this show right now. Sammy Guevara, the TNT champion, the interim,
the Spanish God,
the Spanish God, has defended the TNT title more times in the last 2 months of this year than the Intercontinental title was defended all of 2021.
Yeah, right.
Like, what kind of weird shit is that? Like, doesn't even make sense. Like, you have AEW has one individual title belt, which is basically the television title. For you guys to remember WCW like we do, the TNT title or the TBS title is literally just a television title. It's another title so that if you didn't have, like, remember the titles from WCW? World title, TV title, US title, which is where that came from, and then the tag team titles. That's the titles you had. Like, I don't remember if there was a women's title or not. I don't think there was.
No, I don't think so.
So you look at those titles, and WWE bought WCW, so they adopted all those. Now, when you look at the roster of WWE, you got the Universal, the World, the US, the Intercontinental, the 2 women's titles, that's 6, and then you got 2 tag team titles. You got 8 fucking titles, and like, what but you got?
Even those though. I mean, currently you got Zelina Vega and you got Carmella.
Oh, 9. I'm sorry, 9. 9 titles.
Who defended them how many times? I mean, they haven't even really been on TV in the last 2 weeks. So it's like, and then I also look at that and I'm like, and I will say, yeah, women have had a lot more TV time than ever. I would say than ever. Women have had a lot more TV time. It's still not a lot, but they've had a lot more than they used to. But they still got a lot of strokes, a lot of ways to go there. I still don't know. I don't know if it's in the works, but I feel like another way that they could promote the newer talent, the Bianca Belair, the Liv Morgan, Doudrop, all the fucking women that you have that you never really utilize, is maybe an IC title for the women or a US title for the women. Like, I feel like if they made those 2 titles for the women, maybe that could also help put a spotlight on the talent they don't use and help build more new stars. Like, you know what I mean? Like that, because they have a lot of women. The problem is they keep doing the same shit. It's like, if you think of the last 5 years alone, how many times in the last 5 years has Charlotte Flair been in the main event at WrestleMania?
At least like the last 5 years.
Yeah, like it's like, wait, so when women, like, okay, we know Sasha Banks. You know what? And I know Sasha Banks is probably doing like her own, her own stuff and personal stuff. But I feel like, to me, just from me as a fan perspective, we see Sasha 1 minute and then she's gone, and then we see her again and she's gone, is because, I mean, really don't need Sasha Banks right now, because I mean, she's she's literally done like every fucking thing there is to do, and it's like, okay, cool. Sasha's awesome. She's a legend, future Hall of Famer. Can we get somebody else? Like, can we get Sasha? You brought Shotzi from NXT. Shotzi was like the last person who survived all the releases. You ain't doing anything with her. You dolled her up a little bit extra. You got rid of the Tank. You got rid of the welcome to the ball pit, because I was a fan of her in NXT. You got rid of all that and you made her more serious. Now you ain't doing that with her. I ain't seen her.
Listen, I want to say one last thing on WWE and AEW before we move on to our next segment. And I know that from an audience standpoint, if you've been listening to us for the last few minutes, it may just seem like we're just sitting here saying how much better AEW is than WWE. And to be honest, I honestly believe that you should be, as a fan, be able to call a spade. Just making it as simple as that.
I'd say to a certain degree. To a certain degree, the answer is yes. But also to a certain degree, it's just we see the potential that the long like, first and foremost, I'm still an ultimate fan of WWE. I'm a fan, but we've watched so long and are so passionate about it. We see the potential of what they could do, but instead we keep watching them. It's like freaking Daniel LaRusso when he first started training with Mr. Miyagi. We saw what he did when he was trying to cut corners and not paint the fence and stuff like Miyagi. He was hurting his hand, but when he actually listened and started painting, and then what happened? He got better. He started actually learning karate. So it's like the same thing. Like, WWE, if you kind of just let your guard down a little bit, listen more to the fans, listen more to the actual talent too, because like, it's sad that every time somebody gets released and we hear them on somebody's show, that we hear like from Karrion Kross and these other people about, they had all these ideas themselves that never got used. It's like,
what you're asking for is a systematical change to something. And the truth of the matter, and this is the last thing I'll say on the whole thing, is what is happening at WWE, and I would say is also true for Tony Khan, but they're two different businessmen, right? So when you sit down and you're in a conference room with Vince McMahon and you show them the numbers and you look at what's happening and they go, well, with Charlotte Flair in all of these WrestleManias and with Seth Rollins and with Roman Reigns and with Goldberg and all these other people and Brock Lesnar, you name it, Ronda Rousey, when he looks at the numbers and he does not, I'll put it to you this way. I don't think that I will say that I'm about 90% certain that Vince McMahon does not get a fucking report from social media about how his people are doing. The reports that he gets are facts and numbers in terms of how much has been made. Is Charlotte Flair's new t-shirts selling? Is Ronda Rousey's new t-shirt selling? Is the new man gimmick, is the new Big Tom Beck's t-shirt selling? Are the seats being filled? Are these different things that are happening there? If the answer is yes to that, whatever the fuck we're saying doesn't matter, because the only time that they're sitting down trying to change something and say, well, maybe we should check online and see what people are like, talk to our people and see what can be done. Let's talk to the talent and see what ideas that they have, is when it fucks with the money. I'm gonna be straight up.
I get that. My only rebuttal to that is, the longer you keep not making new stars and you keep using those same people, are those people going to be around forever?
No.
Is Goldberg, Brock, Charlotte, are they going to be around? I don't even just mean in the sense like, they're not going to live forever. I mean, you just never know, knock on wood, you never know what could happen. Charlotte could get injured, Brock gets injured, this person. Okay, now let's say not. I mean, this is just a hypothetical. Let's say Brock, Roman, and Charlotte all got injured at the same time, and I mean like a serious injury that they were out and they needed to be out longer than 6 months. Like, yeah, the likelihood of that happening isn't. But if something like that happened, where's your game plan? Where's your game plan?
It's over. I'm gonna tell you right now. This is where it's real simple. Like this ain't rocket science. This is wrestling, right? The reality of wrestling since we've been alive, since we've been watching and going, I like wrestling, is the way that you build your talent is 3 levels. You have development talent, you have your mid card, and you have your heavyweights. Those are your 3 main people. Your development talent is the people that if you needed to, you could pull them up to the mid card. And then at the heavyweight level, if you need to pull somebody like, oh shit, Roman Reigns doesn't have anybody else to fight. If there's somebody that's ranked high in the mid card level, you can pull those people up to the heavyweight picture and have them fight them. So there's this system in place that's been in place forever.
It is, but at some point you have no choice. I feel like you have no choice but to try to develop new superstars, because if not, what's WrestleMania look like 10 years from now? Reggie versus Shayna Baszler in the main event, and no smite to them, but I'm just saying, like,
so WWE is currently not the way that they're trying to do it. Which, okay, if you want to do it that way, the way that they're developing their talent is this: they have everybody from the power plant that is green as fucking grass, green as a Ninja Turtle, right? Including the Steiner's son, who's the champion. Whatever, I don't care.
Oh, Braun Breaker.
Braun Breaker. Okay, terrible name, but whatever. The fact that's their development level in their minds. The mid card level and the heavyweight level in WWE is mid card is basically the people they use to fill the show, which is like, stupid, and it doesn't make sense. They fill the show with those people just to fill time. The heavyweights and the people who are like at the top for them are only basically people who are either looking for the title or fighting or actually have the championship. Now, if you look on the AEW side, again, you got to compare, the two. If you look at the development talent, you got like Dante Martin and like, Lee Moriarty.
Which is also funny too, because it also thinks like, man, Roman, tribal chief, he's got the longest title reign. Does he have the longest title reign because he's a tribal chief? Or does he have the longest title reign because you ain't really got nobody else that could fill that, they could fill them seats and sell them shirts currently like Roman? Because so we gonna have all right. So when you sitting in the boardroom, you're like, yeah, Roman gonna be the champ for the next 2 years. You're like, wait, what? The next 2 years? Yeah, we ain't got nobody else right now. So that's until we like sign some new people, and yeah, that's who the champ. That's like problem solved. We ain't got to worry about a new champ for the next 2 years because he gonna be the champ for the next 2.
The thing is that you look at that and you say, okay, if I'm at the development level, if you're not doing a separate show like WWE is doing, and they're all here, like you can also do Dark. Like if you look at AEW, they got 3 shows. They got Dark, they got Rampage, they got Dynamite. A lot of the people who fight on Dark are people who are in the development phase. And what usually happens over time, because that's the way they build their system, is people who fight in the development area typically make their way to either Rampage or Dynamite because they've had enough victories and had enough time there that they get their shot to shine and see.
I mean, look at Billy Gunn's sons. They were on Dark, and now they're about to fight fucking Luchasaurus and them for the tag titles.
I rest my case. That's what I'm saying is. Now, again, you're taking guys who, if you look at their record that they have, whether it's inflated or whatever, the record that they have from Dark, from the 3 years that it's been around, or, a little bit less than 3 years that it's been around, you have pretty much some guys who have been in front of people, who have talked on the mic, who are being trained by a fucking veteran, which is their dad, and they're working their way in, and they're becoming sort of the mid-level talent that you would see that can come in and fight for titles. But even if they don't fight,
and And remember what I was saying before about Mysterio and Dominic? What do you think Billy Gunn doing right now?
Working it out, baby.
Do we really like Billy Gunn's a legend in himself, but do we really need Billy Gunn right now? Or did he probably make a deal with Tony Khan? I'm gonna bring my sons in. I'm gonna show them the ropes, this and that. And then, man, I wonder who's guiding their careers right now. Their fucking father?
Father helping them out. And that's a beautiful thing of being born into the business in that sense. If you're a second generation star like they are. But that's the thing, is that you could look at it and say there's people in the heavyweight title picture for WWE, for AEW. There's people in the picture. Like, I put it to you this way. Do you see Miro immediately jumping into the world title picture, or did he win the TNT title? It's like you got to earn the spot.
And now they even got enough stars that my man like on vacation right now because it's so much talent. So much talent was like, all right, I'm gonna take like 2 months off. Yeah, that's cool. All right.
And see, that's the thing. That's the thing that's very interesting about AEW as well, is that from a real world standpoint, like, these guys are wrestlers, they're performers. A real world standpoint, Keith Lee can go and get married because you know why? Keith Lee can fight this week. Keith Lee, and then we might not see Keith Lee again until the pay-per-view, which is March 7th. That's like 2 weeks from now. We might not see him until then, which is like, hey, can I actually work as a wrestler and actually have kids and have a life and not break my neck, like, because I'm here fighting 17 days a week?
And just because I'm a fan of this man, I know you're gonna laugh, but if he ever comes to AEW, I would love to have fucking Eddie Kingston versus Enzo. Come on, man. Enzo, come on, man. Enzo and Eddie Kingston, that's a fantasy match I would love to see. And then for these two to go back and forth on the mic, because I was thinking about, you said like, we're talking about people on the mic. Let's face it, that's what helped Enzo get over with fans. He's right. Good on the mic. So I feel like, and he's also like, I don't know if you've seen him lately, but he's also like buffed up a little more too.
Well, he has to, because here's the thing that happened with him with WWE that kind of made it not easy for him, other than just going to like a bunch of indie things. A new promotion like AEW currently is not interested in him at this time because nobody wants a problem. Like, I guarantee you, when you think about how many people got released from WWE, whether it be NXT or main roster, that did make their way over to over to AEW. Tony Khan and those people at the top, like Cody and Jericho and all of them and the Young Bucks, they're paying close attention to how is he as a normal human being. Oh, this nigga's late to work all the time? Nah, leave that nigga over there. Like,
I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure all of that. Or maybe if you had some controversy, maybe like somebody like him he might be on the list. All right, we're gonna reach out to him in 2023 or something like that.
Correct. They gotta
give it time for.
And then they also don't want to have the worst thing that you can do. If you also notice with the talent, again, because the great job at Mr. Khan, TK as they call him, it's great to see the fact that when they bring in people, do you notice that? Look at who they just brought in, Switchblade and Keith Lee. How different are those two?
Very
different. Like,
very
hey,
different.
I'm bringing in Enzo Amore, and I got MJF, CM Punk, and like Eddie Kingston right here and now. Now you got all these people like, I'm good on the mic. I'm good on the like. You don't want too many things to clash at once. Like, you got CM Punk and MJF. Like, people, when CM Punk came in, I'm pretty sure there were a bunch of whispers. Yo, what is it going to be like when MJF and CM Punk, he could drop pipe bombs too. Like, it was that whisper of things. And then finally, boom, it happened. And now you're like, oh my God, it's happening right before my eyes.
And they both, they had definitely a good build up and good feud. And they were both very good guys on the mic.
Yeah. And that's what you're basically going to get at this point, is like, you're going to get them fight again. Personally, for me, I would probably add some kind of stipulation to the next match. Like, I would, personally, for me, I'd do something like a steel cage. I'd do something to add a
Oh yeah,
stipulation.
something so that cheating can't really happen that much.
Yeah, like something to sort of keep, MJF and CM Punk like locked in. I would personally, for me, just steel cage.
Have they
Right?
done? I'm just trying to think. Have they done any steel cage matches at all?
Steel cages. They did a steel cage. I can tell you the 2 times they did steel cages. They did a steel cage when right before Revolution, when Cody had to fight against all of the.
That's right. Okay, yeah. Okay, they don't do them that often.
Flip off of the cage. And then the last time you saw a cage was, isn't it funny how as wrestling fans we pay attention because of WWE sucking right now? I can actually pull up AEW stuff and say I know when that was. When the Lucha Bros just won the titles from the Young Bucks, they fought in the steel cage.
That's right. That's right. You're right. That's right.
The thing is, they don't overdo that gimmick. Like they
don't do it a lot. So yeah, that makes sense.
If they did it again, it'll be like, oh, well, they did that like 6 months ago, so it's okay. So again, like we could talk to a blue in the face here about how AEW is essentially doing the Lord's work. The one thing I want to point out, and I'm pretty sure I pointed out before, that I love and I want to see continue to happen because they're going to become Guinness Book World Records in doing this. And we can send them an award from the show or something if it means anything to them. But the one thing that I love that they talk about the forbidden door and all this other stuff, but the one thing that I see AEW doing so well, which is a missed opportunity in all the 50 something years that WWE has been the superior brand in the wrestling industry, is that AEW is turning every other organization that has some kind of name that's still living and relevant into the fucking MCU. They're literally opening to every organization saying, hey guys, we got a national TV spot. We got a fucking cable channel just like WWE has. If you got people that you want to put on our show to have a good pro wrestling match, come on over. The door is open and they can be a part of the all elite world. The all elite world, the all elite universe. I'm gonna name it right now. The AEU. The AEU.
Yeah, like when they had like when Kenny Omega brought the Good Brothers over and stuff like that. Like, yeah, those guys are still champs in Impact, right? They've been tag champs for a long time.
Switchblade is still is over in Impact right now, and he's in New Japan Pro. Like this guy's in 3
and
different.
You got what's the name? The Iconics. Well, now they're the Fantastics or something like that.
No, wow, what the heck are they?
I forgot what you call them now.
I think they're the Idols.
But they're the female women tag champs over there, and they got Mickey James as the women champion.
Correct. And I can tell you right now, the same thing I just said, the AEU, I'm gonna brand that right now. You heard me say it first here. The AEU that they're building, WWE is shook by it. There's no fucking reason why you would bring Mickey James in other than the fact that, one, you're desperate for women for your women's Royal Rumble, because you made a freaking Royal Rumble as if you promote your women all the time. You don't. You don't. You're if you think of the women's, and sadly, I'm pretty sure a lot of people, if you disagree with me, you can, let me know in the comments. Or if you agree in the comments, the women's, how is it in 2022 that the men's roster sucks so bad that the women's Royal Rumble was drastically better than the men's Royal Rumble?
They didn't have the men's. It was like no surprises or nothing.
And it's like, what?
Yeah, they wasted a spot on Johnny Knoxville. I'm like, great. I know he wanted to have, his little, moment in the sun, like as a wrestling fan. That's cool and all. I'd want that too if I was. But I'm like, yeah, they weren't. And I was making fun of it when I was watching. I was like, well, I mean, it can't be no surprises when you're releasing everybody.
Wait, here's what's funny though. This is a fun thing about the releases. I've heard podcasts with some of the other wrestlers that are no longer with WWE, and that a good portion of the people who got released got a phone call to show up for the women's and men's Royal Rumble. Speaking of the Iconics have also said on their own podcast, Eddie, I don't know if you ever listened to their show, but they got a phone call. The Iconics got a phone call to come back and do a spot at the Royal Rumble. Fuck you! I'm not going. Fuck your paycheck. I'm not.
you know, yeah, because
Think
I'm
about
like,
that for a second. These
it's
girls,
Sarah Logan. I don't know, is she back, or was she just there for the Rumble?
she was there for the check. What are you talking about? She was there
Oh,
for the
she was
check.
just. Oh, so she's just there for the Rumble. Because I'm
Yeah,
like, I
I'm sorry.
haven't seen her since. So
He was there for the check. That's exactly what he did. And I understand. Listen, if they call you, I guarantee you, listen, they're literally like a multi-billion-dollar company. If they call you to come and do a quick spot at the Royal Rumble and they go, hey Ronnie, I know you got released like 5 years ago, but we'll give you can come in and be in a Rumble for about 10 minutes. We'll give you 12 grand. You going? Like,
yeah,
all right,
20
let me go make
20
this money
G.
real
Like,
quick.
yeah, Michelle. If I'm Michelle McCool, then like, yeah, we'll give you 20 G's to come out there and be in there for 10 minutes. Yeah, okay.
Where else you making 10 fucking 20
Only
grand?
only thing I didn't like was Molly Holly. I don't like the way they treated her because that's not the first year where Molly kind of like just got like, like this year, like they had Nikki. Yeah, they had Nikki Cross literally like just beat the shit out of her and throw her out. It's like that was kind of whack.
The thing that they're
And then they don't even capitalize on that either. It's like, okay, if you're gonna have Nikki ASH beat up Molly Holly and throw out, unless she's retired and doesn't want to do it anymore, why not the following night on Raw have Molly Holly versus Nikki ASH and let Molly Holly try to get a little revenge?
Because Ronnie,
I don't know. That makes sense.
That costs more than the $3 grand that they gave her to show up and get beat up and thrown out for. She's in there.
That gets the fans. That gets the fans excited. I mean, you see how excited they were.
You thought they cared about what you thought. Oh, okay, gotcha.
I mean, not even that, but it's just like if you think about the stuff. Like, I mean, we've been watching this shit so long. I'm like, I'm looking in the match, and we all know that WrestleMania and Royal Rumble and even Elimination Chamber are moments to set up new storylines. So it's like, all right, I thought for sure that Lita being eliminated, Lita coming and challenging Charlotte Flair for the SmackDown title, and then Charlotte Flair basically playing her out, saying like, yeah, hey, retired chick, stay there. And kind of, and then Charlotte literally telling Lita that if she was like she's gonna be the one to eliminate her from her Royal Rumble, and if she was the one who eliminated it, I swear that I thought that was gonna be like, okay, doom, that music was gonna hit, and what happened between Becky Lynch and Lita would have been reversed, and she would have came out challenging Charlotte Flair at Mania or Elimination Chamber, because that would have made so much more sense. Like, I got eliminated by this chick when I almost won. Like, so you know what I'm gonna do in response to that? I'm gonna go challenge Becky Lynch for the title at Elimination Chamber. Like, which kind of them, like, you're not even telling a consistent story. It's like you gotta, I don't know. But yeah, I know we can talk about that stuff to a blue in the face, but hopefully, maybe, hey, somebody in WWE in the story room or whoever will watch this episode, or somebody spread the word, and like this. That's all that we're looking for as fans. We're just looking for a little bit more consistency, pushing new talent, and because like I say that every year, man, every year the Women's Royal Rumble, we get to see a whole bunch of women that we never see the rest of the year. And I'm not even talking about the legends. I'm not talking about Kelly or Michelle McCool. I'm talking about, like, you have women who actually actively work there, like Aaliyah. Like, they got the dumb shit going on with her and Natalya now, but you have Aaliyah and you have all these other chicks that are there, but we don't see them the rest of the year. The rest of the year, we just see Charlotte and Sasha, and we see like 4 or 5 women, but you got like 15 sitting in the back and at home. That could be your future superstars if you push. If like Nick Fury said, they just need to push.
I personally feel like SmackDown and Raw are basically, each of them are about 3 consistent storylines that they tell each week. Like, when you think about the shows, SmackDown is, they talking about Roman, they do like one thing with the women, and then they do like one thing with somebody else. That's it. That's it. And then they go to Raw. They do the same thing. They do something with RK Bro. They do something with Bobby Lashley. And then they might do some other stuff in between there.
Yeah,
And
it's like we can kind of predict the whole show before you see the shit. Like the show's gonna open. Let me guess. The show's gonna open with the World Heavyweight Champion. Somebody's gonna come out. This is it's like we can write the shit ourselves. It's like, yo, mix it up, bro. Start the match. Open the show with like Becky Lynch versus Bianca Belair for the Raw Women's. So, oh shit, I didn't even know that was happening tonight. Yeah, you didn't know that because we just made the match of it and you got what's his name? The fucking two people they have as the Raw managers. Sonya Deville. Have Sonya Deville come out there at the start of the show and make a match like that at the start of the show to get everybody hyped. It's like, do some new shit, bro. You got the people. You got the ideas. You just gotta execute. Just gotta execute the shit. It's like
you don't
and
have
it, like it's and then make the shit believable. Because honestly, Doudrop versus Becky Lynch. I'm sorry, but Doudrop versus Becky Lynch. You know who wins that match? Doudrop. You're new. There's no fucking way you're gonna tell me that this chick, who's like another Nia Jax, like in size, loses to fucking Becky Lynch, a toothpick. Like, cause Becky's like really skinny right now. There's no fucking way. I'm sorry. I'm like,
I mean, you can make
that's like what the fuck is what's his name? The Alpha Academy. What's his name with Chad Gable? I forget the other dude's name. Otis. Now you tell me in my wrestling debut, Ronnie Gorham, and I'm fighting Otis. Your money on Otis or you on me? Like, who you think's gonna win? If I got into an argument with Otis on the street and we were gonna have a fight, who do you think would probably win that fight? Me or Otis? This big ass dude, the second he put hands on me or run into me.
I can tell you right away, the distinctive difference in the booking for the matches tonight on Rampage. Britt Baker fought against a new girl. I don't remember the girl's name, but she was making her AEW debut. That girl gave a good performance. Like, she was green. Obviously, you could see that she was very green. But this girl got a chance to work with the world champion, the best of the best of their roster, and got a chance to work with her and have a match with her. Yes, she lost in her debut match, but that wasn't the point. The point was to try to take a new person and introduce them to the fans, to try to get people, going, oh, who's this girl? Oh, this girl. And this girl.
You mean like, what's his name? I forget his name because I'm terrible with names to begin with. The dude that fought CM Punk, black guy. Who?
Lee Moriarty or Will Hobbs or Lee Johnson. Those are three black guys.
I think it was a skinnier guy, but he literally almost beat CM Punk. He was doing like all the flips and shit. Yeah, that guy. Like I was like, oh shit. Like I thought that match really helped put a spotlight on that dude because it's very memorable. I was like, and he almost won.
Here's how development works, guys. Development works because in Dark, I remember sometimes I don't watch all Darks, but I do peek at Dark and I kind of skim through Dark and see. Slowly but surely, I don't know. He got the fans to create a chant for him, Lee Moriarty. When he comes out there, pay attention and go back to a match and watch. He got them chanting. It's almost like a little bit like Enzo Amora's one, but it's like, oh, Lee Moriarty. Oh, Lee They started that on.
Yeah, that's like fucking Keith Lee. Like the fans started the bow to his glory. Like fans started that, not him.
Yes. And you allow them to organically come up with something that like people can do it, and he just soak it all in, looking great. And to me, I feel like that's a perfect. Look at Adam Cole. Like, you think he did that with boom and the Adam Cole? That's the fans, dude. Do you notice also him doing the boom is a replacement to the Adam Cole baby, because WWE has T-shirts with Adam Cole baby.
Oh, so
that's the boom.
I mean, no, he still does Adam Cole baby though.
Yeah, he still can do it because it's his name, but he doesn't do it as much. The same thing with Daniel Bryan or Bryan Danielson. They still do the yes chant because you can't fucking copyright.
Yeah, I mean, he
But
also got the same music. They just changed it a little bit.
Because the thing is, even the music is literally a Beethoven song, "The Flight of the Bumblebee." So
you can't
fucking do anything about that. All he did was just like update it and add some rocking to it.
Like Jericho. It's like, oh, who are you now over here, Jericho? I'm Chris Jericho. Oh, who are you, Impact? Chris Jericho. Like on the same page because you ain't changing shit with me.
To me, you're watching got a lot of the WWE. See, it's like the nice thing about like AEW again is that you can watch former WWE talent that were older and over already continue to be over, but do new things. Then you can take other people like Keith Lee, anybody that was like NXT stars. You can take those guys. And the beautiful thing, if I'm spending the kind of cheddar that fucking Tony Khan is spending to get these guys, the number one thing that I see in all of these guys, every single one of these guys that they've been pulling over that were former NXT champions, every single one of these guys have a long career left. Like they still have a lot of fun. It's almost the extent of like, I don't like this car that I'm driving. And then Vince McMahon gets out the car and you get into the car and you look at the speedometer and it's like, well, you only went 20 miles in this brand new car.
Yeah, see that? And that's what I was saying about like Dominic Mysterio. Because it's like you watch him every week and he's in there with his dad. But I'm thinking like this guy has a lot of like, he's super young. So he has a lot of time to mature. Fine, yeah, like, you know, like he's training and learning the ropes with his dad. Like the gun, you know, like Billy Gunn and his sons. Like, yo, who has more time that they're probably in the ring, Billy Gunn or his sons? Oh man, they got.
And that's what's cool because you get it, like even with Sting,
or even Hook. It's like look at these guys. There is no question that Taz is mentoring the shit out of his son. Behind the scenes, he just don't need to be at ringside with him.
Dude, I saw that when I saw them down at Prudential Center. I've seen them twice at Prudential Center, and both times Taz showed up, Hook got out the car with him, like, hey man, let's go. We're going in here. And he's completely mentoring him every step of the way. And he's basically using his same gimmick with his kid. Like his kid's not even that big. Like I'm looking at the kid and I'm like, okay, I'm 6 foot. I'm taller than his kid. But when Hook comes out there, Hook looks like he's 6'2" and he's kicking everybody's ass.
But he's dumping 6'2" dudes on their head. Which is the same thing his dad used to do.
He's a small
because I don't think Taz is that tall either, is he?
Taz is really small. Taz is like 5'6",
5'6", jumping people like Kevin Nash on their head.
Yep. Choking people out with Bill Alfonso.
Which is funny because when you think about like martial arts and stuff, like, man, is it impossible for someone like 5'7" to dump someone 6'4" on their head? No, it's not. It's all about gravity and everything else.
You literally if you're a trained artist or a trained martial artist or trained wrestler or something like that, or like a judo master like he is, you could literally like you being bigger than them could be a disadvantage to you because they can get on your back.
You want to find that out. Look, you want to find that out the highway. Throw a punch at Ronda Rousey.
Now I'm good. First time ever meeting that girl in person, she intimidated me with a freaking autograph. I literally remember being there at Madison Square Garden, and I had 2 Ronda Rousey Funko Pops, and she was just like, she moved them down and looked me dead in the eyes and said, "Are these both for you?" And I was like, "Yeah." And she just like, "Okay." She's like, "All right, what's your name?" And I'm like, Markell. And she's like, "All right." And then she put 2 Markell. And then the second one, she just quickly just did a like signature for it. Like, here's an extra one. And then this one is 2
remember that
Markell.
night. I fucked up that night. I'm like, fucking dropped my Sharpie right when she got to me. And like, I'm like trying, I turned into Milton from Office Space. Like, guys, please, can I use someone Sharpie, please? And nobody was paying me no mind because everybody was trying to get Ronda. So like, and then when she got to me, even my fucking, and I almost dropped my phone when I was taking the selfie. I was like, what is going on with me right now? So like, even I'll show you, even the selfie I got with Ronda, it's completely Ronda Rousey and half my face. Only half. I'm like, what the hell?
Man, I could tell, like, she was intimidating, and it was just like the second time I met her was at Access, and she was really nice at that point. And again, intimidating lady, because I know in real life she's a freaking Olympic.
I can't wait. Now, talk about something they do right. I can't wait till it's safe enough to be able to do that again. And I hope that AEW does that in the future, like an Access type of thing, because that was such a great experience. I'm like, I never spent that much money before, because I'm like, I think I paid like $100 for that ticket or something. But I think I remember I got the ticket. I had got it on Stub. I got it on StubHub, and I remember I just paid for like the one day, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna just do the one day, and then that's gonna be it for me. I had so much fun. Remember day one, and you guys were talking about going back. I was like, yeah, so I'm gonna meet y'all. Oh, you going too? Yeah, I bought a ticket for the mall. Like, yeah. I was like, it was so much fun. I was like, yeah, I'm definitely coming back. It was awesome.
Because, like I said, I won't say exactly how we got special privileges.
And you know what else was crazy? Like, I didn't even mind the long lines, simply just because I'm standing in line with other people who like wrestling, so stood there talking about wrestling the whole time. Standing in line with other people.
A long time before I personally get back into a crowd that large. But
yeah. But and then one moment before we go to the next segment that I'll never forget is when I was in line to try to meet Shinsuke Nakamura, and I remember we got like halfway to where he was, and then they pulled him. Like the people pulled. Sorry, he has to go. Like to do. He was leaving the autograph part to do the picture part, and like he stood up, and the guy in front of me started complaining. And he was like, man, we've been waiting here for over 45 minutes. This is some bullshit. And he was like, so you're just going to leave? And then Shinsuke's like, he did kind of like his character. And he was like,
I don't know.
Like, I'm sorry what to tell you. But he actually did. He was cool about it. He actually like took the guy's phone and then like, he like turned the camera around and he did a selfie with like the whole crowd that we were in. So I got that guy to send me, like, I jumped in and then like I got that guy to send me a copy. So we still wound up getting a selfie with him. I was like, oh, that was awesome with him.
I remember meeting him at I Play America in Jersey, and he was super nice. Like I remember I wanted him to, like, I was gonna bend down and like pretend like he was going to like do his like running knee strike on me.
Oh, the Kinshasa.
Yeah. And he just like leaned over towards me. He's like, I would love to do that, but if I do that for you, I'm gonna wind up doing that for like 50 more people. So maybe we just do something like the come on. And I'm like, okay, let's do yeah, I was like, okay.
Yeah,
like, he said that like close to me, and he just leaned in like
my knees, my brother ain't the greatest. So
because I imagine that makes sense, because like, yeah, like, could you imagine it? That's like if you went to go meet Bret Hart, and he's like, hey, can you put me in the sharpshooter? The minute somebody sees you get put in the sharpshooter, now 100 people in line, 80 of those people want to be put in the sharpshooter.
I mean, so that's probably why when we met Kane, he just from his point of view, he wasn't that excited about like pretending to choke slam us, because like, yeah, like, no one's ever asked him to do that in the picture before.
He was the thing that I always think about meeting Kane is the fact that he is by far the largest human being I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
Like, he was just ridiculous. Like,
yeah, he was like, yeah, in really great shape too. His arms were big as shit.
I was confused. I'm sitting there like, yo, his arms were bigger than my legs. Like, they were just like.
I thought it was also a weird coincidence that they put his table next to the lady that played the nun. Like, just because of his gimmick is like this dark horror brooding character. Like, wasn't it a coincidence they sat him next to the lady that plays the nun in the fucking nun movies, the Conjuring movies?
that was just crazy. That was just a crazy day. Just meeting him because I always wanted to meet him. The last person that's on my like list of people that I want to meet from the past like that is Stone Cold. I still want to meet Stone Cold.
Oh man, yeah. One of these days he'll do one.
He does them. I think he does them in Texas. Like,
oh yeah, Texas and mostly on the West Coast. Yeah, he's another Grant Gustin. These guys stay on the West Coast. I mean, it makes sense if they live over there, but you know.
Yeah, like if you can go, all right, I'm gonna go do a signing today, and I just drive like 30 minutes from my house. That's a lot better than like, all right, get on a plane, get off the plane, meet some guy. Hi, I'm Ronnie. I'm your handler today. And it's like, fuck off. Just take me to the place. And then you take us to the place, and then you got to deal with them. Then you got to stay in some shitty hotel. And it's like a whole process of stuff just so that you.
Earlier, I was telling Jill about like going to, it's going to be full circle for me to go to the con in April, the Philadelphia con, to get Kevin Smith to sign this. And she said, you're gonna meet Kevin Smith again? And I said, well, yeah. And she was like, but you met him like 20 times already. I was like, well, I mean, I could never meet him enough times. But I was also just explaining to her, like, Silent Bob, though, like, he's not coming there in April for no reason. You know, Clerks 3 is coming out around the same time. And this is a fucking character that put this guy on the map, Silent Bob. So I feel like it's a full circle moment that, you know, I get him to sign this particular one out of all the other ones that I have signed already.
I'd
actually like one of Mark Bernardin too. Like, I hope they actually make one. He just made one of Jordan Peele. I don't know if you saw that for the director one.
Funko shop. It's funny. While I was sitting here, I got a notification that popped up. It was like, "Oh, your Mandalorians have shipped," and I was like, "Oh, okay."
Nice. Yeah, I think I might own all the ones from the show. So I thought, well, why the hell not? Right? Get that one too.
I have the first one with the old armor, so it's kind of full circle for me. Like I'm getting, like I'm sorry, Funko collector, my friend, but I open mine and throw this fucking box in the garbage.
Oh no, I open them too. I mean, look, I got my He-Man here, got my Masters of the Universe.
Where his box at?
Oh, and I got it in the closet, but I do take them out of the box.
You save the box. No, I'm out next time I get.
No. I saved the box. No way. I would implore you to do the same. If you don't keep the box, I would implore you to sell them. People do buy boxes, empty boxes.
I understand that. No, for me, it's just more like I just want to be on a video like this or a video anywhere, and then take like a really expensive pop and open it, but just open it in the most like vicious way.
Like, if you want to get yourself canceled,
why am I gonna get canceled? It's my pop, right? It's like
you gotta get canceled for destroying a Funko Pop.
What's the most expensive Funko Pop? I just want to get my hands.
I can say this one right behind me.
No, I said yours. I said like in general, like what's the most expensive?
I know, like this one, like if you went online and like this probably goes for about at least 300. If you and think about how hot the Mandalorian is right now. If you went on the live stream and you opened this and you were just like,
I would just go and then grab the plastic and just rip the plastic off of the box and then just tear it down and just like, you know, take some water. And
I can see the comments now, like, you fucker. Like, I'm gonna come there and gonna burn your house down. I can see the comments now.
Really? Over a toy, guys? You gonna murder you over a goddamn toy?
I mean, come on. People send death threats for storylines. You don't think that there's a community of people that would crucify you for that?
Speaking of good times and talking to people in comments, on our Instagram, I was talking to some people about the finale of Boba Fett, which recently just came up, and
I love that end song, by the way. I'm pretty sure it's the same person that does the music for Mandalorian. But
Ludwig Göransson. I have it on.
I love the music. The music, like and three. I haven't finished it like you, but 3 episodes in, and I'm like, I see what you're talking about him not wearing the helmet, but I'm like, because he does spend way too much time outside of the helmet. But I'm like, but it holds up. It's pretty solid. Good show so far.
I think what it is that this is my, so I feel like I finally have now watching all 7 episodes completed. Of course, I'm like, Thanos when he got the final stone and he's feeling himself before he got hit with the axe. And what my interpretation after 7 episodes is Book of Boba Fett is basically the Logan TV show for Boba Fett. That's what it is. It's literally old man Boba Fett.
Well, Boba Fett, I kind of knew that going into it though, because when he showed up in Mandalorian, I'm like, well, he's old.
He's a lot older, and the thing is that from comic books, some novels, from all the other things that you got Boba Fett in, he was essentially like younger, but he had a lot of adventures as a bounty hunter. So by the time he does the whole Sarlacc pit and he's with the Tusken Raiders and all of that stuff, like he is a bit older, and basically some of the same values that he has. The thing that he basically wants in this whole thing, which is like some people say, like, I don't know what Boba Fett wants. I'll tell you what he wants. Boba Fett, one of the best times that, based on the stories that I've gotten, one of the best times that Boba Fett has had in his life was with the Tusken Raiders. As an adult male, the time you're talking about the things that go. Yeah, the Tusken Raiders, those guys, the bond that he formed with them for the first time. You got to think about it like this.
Do you remember those things from the old video games for PlayStation?
Yeah, when you fight them, like, yeah. I remember that from was it the Masters of Terrakazi, the video game?
Yeah, I remember that when I used to cheat like crazy with Luke Skywalker.
Fucking throw the lightsaber and that's just like an automatic kill. It's crazy. Masters of Terrakazi, for anybody looking for that game for PS1, it's actually terrible graphics, but it's a pretty cool fighting game for Star Wars.
Oh, is that? I wonder how much that costs now if I wanted to go
probably
back
like $300. Probably about $300.
God,
PlayStation 1 games is expensive now. But anyway, before I lose my point, the thing is that like a bounty hunter's lifestyle is one that's very like solo, right? That's a very like no pun intended with the solo there. But
yeah, I'm like solo. Okay.
Very solid like a life for a loner, like a Wolverine type or whatever, right? So the thing that you can look at both Boba Fett and Mandalorian, and you can see with both of them something very similar in what they actually want. Their desires are very similar. For a bounty hunter, you're a solo guy going around fulfilling these missions. You're not worrying about family. You're not worrying about all these other things. But the desires that they both want is that longing for a connection with somebody else, right? So like Boba Fett, for instance, he wants to take Mos Espa, which is the place that Jabba the Hutt had, and turn it into a tribe, whether it be he's essentially a bad guy who's like kind of reforming his life a little bit. And this guy is willing to work with murderers and drug dealers and whatever, except for the Pike Syndicate, and allow them to do some maybe unsavory things in Mos Espa and on Tatooine, but under his rule where nobody's killing each other. Everybody's just here making their money and doing business and everybody's happy. So basically what he wants is a tribe to belong to, the same like he did with the Tusken Raiders. Mandalorian, got attached to, being somebody who is a youngling himself, or like a person who is essentially orphaned and then brought into a fold and brought into a tribe of the Mandalorians. He follows the code, but at the same time, he got connected to Baby Yoda, and he, got feelings, for him as like a son of his own or like a kid of his own. He wants that longing and that connection that's there. So they both long for some form of connection because they live a life that's completely like them by themselves. Like they want to be a part of something, whether it be being outcast or being thieves or being whatever it is they want.
Or being that it comes on Disney, part of your world. I just had to throw that.
What's wrong with that? Listen, they want to be a part of the world. They want to be a part of some kind of world, whether that be just being two badass bounty hunters on the road, and one's got a little green guy that can make shit float, and the other one is like a mob boss of a town that like does different things.
You know what's weird about you saying that? Thinking about Disney for a minute. That's a reoccurring theme if going with Disney, like want and belong. Because I'm thinking like, yeah, Little Mermaid. There was somebody wanting and something. Frozen wanting. Even in Encanto wanting. There's like people wanting. That's like a reoccurring theme in a lot of stuff.
Well, it's not even. I don't even think that's just them, but that's just a trope. I always use that term. A trope.
No, I know trope, but even Up, one of my favorite ones. Yeah, he was like hell bent on wanting to fulfill what him and his wife always wanted to do.
Well, you got it. Yeah. Okay. So, Hero's Journey, Joseph Campbell. If anybody checks out that book, the number one thing that is really helpful in bringing people along on a journey.
Oh shit!
Behind the
I
scenes,
promise you, only the camera fall. I didn't really fall.
So the thing
that felt, it's crazy though. That felt like I fell.
Yeah, the fucking your phone just went on a journey. The thing that allows an audience to go on a journey with you is by giving your characters desires. It's simple. That's not like just Disney. That's just storytelling in general. I need to know what your character wants so that I can go on this journey with them. You could take it from your own book, How to Start Working in Retail. If your character's desire is to win back the love that he lost, to get out of his shitty job in retail and finish school and go off and do his career. Those are the things that these people want, whether it be whatever the desire is, doesn't matter. Like, it has to be some kind of want. It works the same way in group movies too. Think about Suicide Squad. They all have some like particular goal. Peacemaker. We're gonna talk about that a little bit later.
Or even Walking Dead. All these people want to survive. Yeah,
they want survival, but they want a sense of belonging. There's something that the characters want, so you can go on the journey with them to get it. Whether they get the same thing or
what's that? All of Us Are Dead, which is really pissing me off. I'm like, I love that show, but I swear it's pissing me off like fucking crazy with the obstacles that keep coming in the way. And I know that's the point of making a show, just like playing a video game. It's like, man, why does it keep getting harder every level? It's like, yeah, that's the whole point. But it's just a pain in the ass because there are several. So just talk about it for a second. But there's like several moments where you think a character's gonna do something, and then they either get killed or some fucking catastrophic. Like, come on, you've got. And for me, it's not even a spoiler. I mean, it might be if you haven't seen the show yet, but there's one character that kind of does something really fucked up and is trying to redeem herself for the fucked up thing she's done. So she's gonna like bring these people this food, and you're like, oh man, okay, you can kind of sympathize with her. You can see that she gets fucking murdered.
What she does.
And like, guess what? And I don't know if the writer was pissed off at the world at the time when they wrote that specific scene, but this person doesn't just get killed, but it's brutal as shit. Like, how this person, and you're like, yo, okay. I'm like, well, maybe she gone. Okay, so the killing's still going on. Well, maybe she. Okay, right. Okay, so there ain't just no fucking chance at all that she even gonna come back to life as a fucking zombie. Okay, cool. So she just gonna get killed so bad. It's like everybody else getting killed and they coming back as zombie, but they gonna kill the shit out of this particular person so bad. It ain't even coming. Like when you're watching a vampire movie and that one person gets sucked dry to the point where like they just dead. They ain't even coming back. Like, some bullshit.
What you're talking about is again, the difference in writing that they have. Redemption is a thing that is not reserved for everybody in certain writings. So it's something that, like, if you've done something from an audience standpoint that is unforgivable, there are people you're rooting on the other side and saying, oh, well, she's going to redeem herself. There are people on the other side of that going, I hope she dies. I hope she gets a horrible
Now going back to Boba Fett for a second. I was one question, and this might even be a spoiler for myself, even watching it. What the fuck is up with that tank that he's in?
The Bacta tank it's a healing tank.
Oh, is that what the fuck it is? Oh, so it's like a hyperbolic chamber, like Dragon Ball Z.
Sort of, kind of, but it actually heals you. So they show you, this is not really a spoiler, but it might be a spoiler for somebody who hasn't watched it yet. So they show you do you remember like what, like he decides to go back with his ship once he has a ship again. I think you've watched the episode where he like went to the place to go get a ship. You watched that already?
I'm on episode 3. What did I just watch? The one that I just finished, I believe he helped those guys. He helped them like take down the train or whatever.
Yeah, those guys. So just so you know, those guys that are on the train, that's the bad guys of the show. Those are the bad guys of the show. Pike, that's the Pike Syndicate. That's the bad guys. Okay. Gonna be dealing with them the whole show. So the next episode, what he's gonna do is he's going to go. He found where his ship is, which his ship has been renamed because of its name. I'm gonna still say his original name. It's called the Slave One. Okay, it's called the Slave One. Whatever. It's called the Slave One. He goes and retrieves his ship, him and Finnick, which is like my favorite. And then you also find out in that episode, that same episode, how he met up with Finnick. And it's like, oh, okay, that's cool. Like you find out.
Wasn't Finnick? Didn't he retrieve her from wasn't Mandalorian, right?
The Mandalorian killed her in the show.
Oh yeah, that's right. But then wasn't that him that found the body? They didn't actually show it was. They didn't actually show it was him, but I figured that.
They showed it was him in the Mandalorian. They showed like basically they show you him and then they see Finnick and her together, but they don't show you how she's still here. Yeah, I will let you see that for yourself. But there's a way that she's still here, and then like you see their connection or whatever. And then I'm thinking, wait, what was it? Wait, oh, Bacta tank. Yeah, the Bacta tank is basically. He goes once he gets the Slave One back, he decides to go get revenge on the Sarlacc pit, the fucking pit that he got knocked in Return of the Jedi, the one that he was stuck in for years and almost died in. And why his skin is so peely is because that thing was fucking digesting him. That's why his skin is like that. So because the pit itself is a monster. So he decides to go back to the pit and he's going. So it's sort of it's a backstory to how he got to the Mandalorian. Before he knew that the Mandalorian had his armor, he went back to the Sarlacc pit because he thought that the Sarlacc pit had his armor. So he goes back to the Sarlacc pit, not realizing the fact that the Sarlacc pit is still fucking active. So they tried to go back and the Sarlacc pit tries to eat him again. And the acid gets on him again and he's like injured from that. That's why he's in the Bacta tank. Is because he's acid on him and that's literally healing his skin, as he's like as he's trying to go on. Now they use it
although most fans are like, why are you in the tank? You just pull the helmet.
Because it's like the whole time he's just getting this bald dude, and then like he's got like fights and stuff where he doesn't have that on. Which I think the one thing somebody mentioned to me, which was hilarious, from the finale all the way back to the first episode when those guys tried to like jump him and Finnick in the streets.
That was a hilarious ass scene. I was like, I knew exactly who fucking said. I was like, literally, like, who knows you there? The mayor? Like, duh.
Now the funny thing is that one thing that they pointed out in the somebody pointed out online that I thought was hilarious is that in the finale, him and Mandalorian are in the finale, and you forget the fact that the Mandalorian and him both have jetpacks. So somebody said, well, why was this nigga fighting with these guys with the shields and they're all surrounded by the shields? Why didn't he just like grab Finnick and literally jetpack out of the fucking circle? Like, oh, I forgot.
I mean, in the heat of the moment, he may have forgot that he was even wearing it.
Yeah, he's like, Finnick, grab onto me. Phew, fly out of there. Okay. Like, but that's just a little, like, that's nothing. Like, I think the show was great, but ultimately, I figured out what I felt like he wanted, but I feel like he's still going to have to deal with the Pike Syndicate. The Pike Syndicate is lost one of its leaders, I'll say, from this particular ending. He lost one of its leaders and lost one of its bounty hunters. in there, but the Pike Syndicate is way bigger, as you know.
But you still think that Boba Fett's thumbs up another season?
The only
Just
thing
maybe they'll learn in the second season to keep his helmet on a little more.
I don't know, but I feel like what I did learn from this is that it was a little bit weird that they decided to give us in between. Like, I understand why they put it in there, but after like episode 4, episode 5, and episode 6 are 2 episodes that are just about the Mandalorian, and I'm like, they're immensely better. Like,
do you think that maybe that's because they just want to let fans know, like, hey, I know you watching Boba Fett, but we got a season 2 coming for Mandalorian. like, I mean, yeah, season 3. They're like, we just want y'all to know that. So, you know.
I mean, I understand why they did it, and like, I understand, like, it helps out for the finale, because the finale is basically the Pike Syndicate versus the Mandalorian and some friends, and it is like an all knockdown, drag out fight between everybody. And then my favorite, it's funny. I know you've probably seen this online, but there's a bounty hunter that's in this series named Cad Bane. And I don't know much about Cad Bane, but all I know is they did a wonderful fucking job in his design.
Only thing I'm pissed off about that is he is another pop that I've seen forever that I kept saying, I'm going to get it later. I'm going to get it. And I'm not even going to say just a Funko collector. Any toy collector, I'm pretty sure that you have seen toys that you want in your collection before, and you're like, nah, I'm not focused on that right now. I'll get it later. And then now this show's come out, and you can imagine that you can't find that shit online or anywhere for like a regular price.
Now you got me thinking about it. Let's see. I'm looking over at my collection now. I will say,
because I'm like, I've looked at that pop before and thought, oh, that's a pretty cool looking character. I should get that. I'll get them later.
Oh, I know what it is. I know exactly what it is. From a Transformers standpoint, I don't collect a lot of Transformers, but I usually collect significant Transformers. I've had both the Masterpiece collection, which, if anybody knows the Masterpiece collections of Transformers, they're some of the most expensive. If we're not talking about like the Japanese modified ones that look amazing, they're like Gundams, but they're Transformers. Those are like $300-$400. But if you're talking about just a traditional, like, go to the store and buy like a really expensive one, Masterpiece collections, which you might find at a Target nowadays when they had them, they're like $150. They're not that big, but they're articulate as fuck, and they're die-cast metal. And they're really, really nice. And I've had several of them over the years, and none of them are in my collection. And now I go back now and see, like, I was looking it up the other day. I was like, you know what? Maybe I should go and get that Optimus Prime die-cast metal. It would go along with my Optimus Prime collection that I'm building over here. And I looked it up, and that shit said $1,100, and I just closed it.
And you're like, okay, you know what? I think I'm okay with the ones I got.
I'm good with that.
I would show you one figure that I have just because I kept putting it off to get, and it's just a Funko Soda, but it's literally Jack Torrance. It's literally Jack Nicholson's character from The Shining.
I don't like sodas.
And I have the pop too. But I was also thinking to myself, like, man, I just wanted this in the collection because this is such a classic film and stuff. And Jack Nicholson is like very much up in age. So I thought, you know what? I want to have these in my collection just because, like, so they're so iconic. And, I feel like at some point it may grow value.
Pretty sure they will. But yeah, with the Boba Fett, Book of Boba Fett, great series. Again, I'm not going to say that I cared that much about the whole helmet thing. I do find, I'm going to just be honest, will say that, yes, the scenes where he's wearing the helmet are a lot cooler than when he's not wearing the helmet. It's just really...
Because when he's not wearing the helmet, I'm like, yeah, I had to admit, scenes where he's not... Also, for me, when he's not wearing the helmet, he doesn't seem as badass as when he's wearing the helmet. Especially when he's talking shit to people, like, you will listen. And, he's trying to, Yeah, it just when he's not wearing the helmet, it just I feel like if I was standing there and he told me like you're gonna come with me, and he's not wearing the helmet, I feel like ooh, I'm scared. As opposed to him wearing the helmet.
I'll put it to you like this. There's one scene particularly that I love scenes between good guys and bad guys talking. This isn't the finale. Cad Bane, who has a history with Boba Fett, but I love how they do it, which is like they don't explain their backstory in Book of Boba Fett. Why? Because there's other stories that you can go watch, like Clone Wars, on the Disney Plus app that you can go find out their goddamn story. So it's like,
I mean, also that's another reason to make season 2. Like,
there's no reason.
It's like, you want to know what happened? Come back for the next season.
So I can tell you like this. So Cad Bane, this is not even like this doesn't spoil anything, but I'm pretty sure like whatever I say is probably going to spoil it for somebody. So please, right now, spoiler alerts for anybody listening or hearing. I'm about to mention a scene from the season finale of Boba Fett. 3, 2, 1. Okay. So they're standing outside of what's really interesting is that I didn't notice it until the end of the series. That you know the name of the bar that they went into in what you call it, the bar in Boba Fett that they go to with the chick with the like the 2 tentacles on her head.
Shit, I don't remember.
It's called the Sanctuary. And the end of that show has all of the good guys pinned down in the Sanctuary as the fucking like Pike army is coming down and like blasting them and destroying shit. And it's funny because like, oh wow, the heroes have to like hide out in the Sanctuary in order to be like protected from the good guys. So it's like,
it's like a big pun there.
It's a big pun there. So, but and again, spoilers. The reason that they're hiding out in there is not because everybody is alive. It's because the Pike Syndicate got word that Boba Fett and them are trying to make a move on them, and they're like fucking with their spice trade. So they decide to drop a bomb in there and blow everybody up in there. So nobody.
Shit.
Yeah, spoilers. They murder everybody in the bar.
Shit.
Like, okay, Disney, just gonna blow everybody up. Right, cool.
I mean, so, everything can't be for the kids.
That was literally
everything
like some guys dropped off a package and the ladies are like, what are you dropping this off for? Boom! Everybody did. I was like,
I mean, think about it. Disney Plus also has like they're doing new episodes of Goosebumps and other shows they got coming. And even if I remember Goosebumps, every episode wasn't a happy ending.
Yeah. The thing though, so at that my favorite scene, going to that, the Cad Bane is standing there talking to what's the dude's name? Boba Fett. He's talking to Boba Fett. Boba Fett's in the helmet. Fennec, I love Fennec. Fennec is my favorite character from so far from that series. Fennec, I love Ming-Na Wen. She's just a badass in whatever she does, so I love it. She's definitely one that whenever she does a convention, I'm definitely gonna meet her and get her toy signed.
Oh yeah, I got her pop. I'm waiting.
Yeah, her Funko Pop. Well, you can find. If you're looking for her Funko Pop in person, there's all of the GameStop.
Hers you can find.
You can find now. There's a scene where they're standing outside the Sanctuary. Cad Bane just found out from the Pike Syndicate. I don't know if in the 3rd episode. Wait. Oh, wait. I think that's gonna happen you watch the 3rd episode? The 3rd. What did something happen to the Tusken Raiders in the 3rd episode?
No.
Okay. All right. So then that's the 4th. Okay, then maybe I can't. Okay. Are you sure you're on the 3rd? You might be on the 2nd.
No, I'm going into the 3rd. I mean, I've watched 2. I'm about to watch the 3rd.
I'm sitting there like, wait a second. I'm like, a lot of shit done happening. Okay. So I guess spoilers for this. The Tusken Raiders get killed.
Oh, that's not a spoiler. I kind of figured that.
So they get that tribe of folk get killed. We don't know.
I only say that because I mean they got fucking sticks for like their main weapons. So I mean you don't really see like somebody come in there with some heavy artillery. That's a wrap.
If you remember in one of the episodes when he was with the Tusken Raiders, they saw this biker gang that was like out robbing a place or whatever, and they didn't do nothing. Do you remember that in the 2nd episode?
Yeah.
Yeah, they were like, and they spray their logo on the wall, and they like jump on the bike and they ride off on the speeder bikes. So it's all this like biker gang. So literally he comes back from a mission that he is doing. I don't remember what the fuck the mission was, but he comes back because he's got the little small Tusken Raider child with him. And they come back on one of those like big elephant things or whatever. I know fucking fans, not fans, people in the comments.
A couple of them,
name of that elephant. But
a couple of those elephants got killed too, which was kind of hilarious. I said a couple of those elephants got killed during the train scene too, which hilarious. I was like, damn, they just like blind and out in the open. They can't get
like, pow, just getting shot. So he comes back, the whole village is burnt down. But you see the spray paint of the bikers there. So later on in the show, when he gets his slave one back, they go, what are you gonna do when you get your slave one back? And he looks at Finnick and goes, I got one thing I want to do. And he literally finds the biker gang and guns them down and murders all of them. I'm like, oh, he's still a bounty hunter, isn't he? He literally shows up where they are and just blowing them off their bikes, killing them. And he gets his revenge. So fast forward to the finale, you find out that Pike Syndicate, the guys that they stopped on the train, that's the Pike Syndicate. They weren't very happy about him fucking with their train. So they framed that biker gang, and they were the ones who killed the Tusken Raiders. Like when they got back on their train, they went back around and murdered the Tusken Raiders. Like, oh, you gonna take my spice? You gonna do this to me? Like they went back and murdered them. So Cad Bane says, I got an idea. He went to go fuck with Boba Fett because he knows he has a personal relationship, and he's standing there and he's talking shit to him. He just like he pretty much did the same thing that old boy did in the Untouchables, except for he didn't get thrown off the roof. It was like, your friends died like a stuck Irish pig. Like, now you think about that when I beat the rat. Like, he literally stood there and talked shit about how,
clearly one of the best moments in cinema history in terms of movies.
Walked out. Did he sound anything like this? Which, again, that guy that I'm talking about, that I'm saying there, is actually in The Mandalorian. If you go back.
Such a great movie. Just because you brought it up, I'm like, Jesus, they don't make... I know it's like putting the age on both of us, but they do not make movies like that anymore. Holy shit, The Untouchables was such a fucking awesome movie.
Which is why that movie is so hard to remake. That movie is so hard to remake is because it's like, it's a simple movie, but it's simple.
Well, I honestly don't think of that needs to be remade. I mean, like, there's some movies to me that just a true, what does they say? Like, I think Chucky said it, a true classic never dies.
Yep.
Like,
true.
I mean, it's true. It's like,
and Hollywood's like, that's cute, Ronnie. They're like, we'll get your money.
I mean, they're about to remake Color Purple, which I don't even see the point in remaking Color Purple, but I mean, okay. Like, I get it. Like, and I know there's people, which is a good segue into because what's the name of the chick who plays Amanda Waller's daughter?
In real life?
No. I mean, like, on the show. I don't remember her real life name. But anyway, that actress, she is one of the ones who's been cast in the new Color Purple, and I believe she's playing what's the name's character?
We'll be going to that. I got
Whoopi Goldberg's character.
Wait, what is it? Oh, damn it! That's not it. Damn it! That's not the. I was looking for the Boba Fett main thing.
You know what main thing I thought you were looking for? I thought you were looking for Peacemaker. Like, do you really want? Do you really want?
What's funny? I've only watched that intro once.
Really? I watched it every episode, and me and your wonderful niece stand in front of the TV and we do the dances. It's fucking hilarious. I love it. It's hilarious.
Great series. Like, talking about Peacemaker, they had their seventh episode going into their seventh episode of them, and everybody is firing on all cylinders there.
Great title for that one, which was "Stop Dragging My Heart Around." I love the play with words there.
Great job with using song titles and different things like that, which is going back to just like, I think that, I must say, when they said that they were making a Peacemaker show, after seeing The Suicide Squad, I was like, what's the point? And once I realized that James Gunn, what he has done after 7 episodes, I'm going to tell my past self to shut the fuck up and enjoy
Yeah.
what they're giving me, because they're giving me a great fucking show. Like, it's a great, I'm going to tell you right now, I personally think that this is a show that is going to wind up getting John Cena an Emmy. I personally,
yeah, I could see that.
because to me, like, there's a lot of moments here that he has where he's just, especially the moments where he's going back into his past. Like when this first.
I was just about to touch on that for this episode where they opened with him. What was it, when he was younger and he's having flashbacks by him and fighting his brother, and you see that his dad see how fucked up of a, not only was his dad racist, but his dad was using the two of them for like, what did he call it, the dog fights? I forgot the proper term.
Like pit fight, yeah.
Yeah, they're having like pit fights, but with his fucking two sons, and they're betting money on the two of them. And then the one son, John Cena, gives his brother one good shot and he falls and he winds up having a seizure, I think, and dies. And I'm like, holy shit. And you think about that moment, it's like, what psychological effect did you just put on this fucking kid that he just killed his own brother by mistake?
Listen, I can tell you that it is that part there is like good acting. And then the fact that we know John Cena as a person is nothing like Peacemaker or like Chris. And it's just amazing that he is really, Peacemaker has become his Deadpool. Like how Ryan is just him. He slides into this. He's just being as vulgar as the show. He slides into this fucking role as Peacemaker like a man with a small dick sliding into a ring cock. So goddamn easy. It's an easy slide in because it's just fantastic. Like, you know, that is it to me, it is literally like watching John Cena at his best. Honestly, John Cena is at his best doing Peacemaker.
Yeah, it's definitely one of the best things he's done in his acting career, hands down.
And I'm gonna tell you right now, I'll see. Wait, now I know a lot of people gravitate towards Vigilante, and Vigilante is awesome. But besides Vigilante, on the count of 3, I want you to tell me, besides Vigilante, who your favorite character is. 1, 2, 3. Eagly.
Hardcore.
Oh, okay. So you went for the easy blonde with the tits. Okay, cool.
No, she don't even got tits. What are you talking about? She don't even got tits. But no, it's crazy because I was thinking like another character that I like, and I think it's Vigilante and Hardcore are like 2 characters I really like. Also, when this episode, when Mern gets killed, I was thinking when they were like, man, who's going to be because Jill was like, who's going to be the leader going forth? And I said, oh, that's clearly easy. It's clearly Hardcore, because if you look at all the characters, who's the most serious out of them and who can keep it all together the most out of all of them, and who can also kick ass, because she did handle her own for a minute against the little dude. I forgot the little green guy's name.
Master.
Yeah, like she held her own before he got the upper hand with her by cheating, basically, and tying her hands up. And he was beating her up. But before that, she was giving him that smoke back before that. So she was handling her.
I think it was funny though. Like that is the most hilarious death in the whole show, which is Mern, because of the nonchalant. Like also that actress that was playing the detective and is now the leader of the butterflies, the evil butterflies, which was when he had a moment where he was like talking to her and he was about to say his like cliche like, you'll never get it. She's like, oh my God. Pow, pow,
yeah.
pow, pow, pow.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and to put some context on that, so we know from the last episode, the butterfly, John Cena stupidly was keeping the bad guy butterfly, and the bad guy butterfly broke free, not on purpose, thanks to Vigilante, because he broke the jar. Wound up getting into the Asian cop. They infected the entire fucking police department and put a fucking nationwide manhunt out for Peacemaker. And then in this episode, they're tracking everybody down, including the people that helped him, because they got the other cop, the tall dude's memories. They have his memories, so they come after them. And I was like, fuck. The whole time I was thinking, anybody can die except Hardcore, because she's like one of the characters I like. Even Amanda Waller's daughter, I'm like, you can die and I don't care. Just don't kill Hardcore.
The person who cannot die on my watch is Eagly. That's my favorite character, Eagly.
Oh, Eagly, I can see Eagly dying at some point. And also, I was doing my own casting again for another actor that popped into my head if they do bring Kite Man into this at some point, because Peacemaker did already get renewed for another season. Like, cool. If they get, and I thought John Hamm would be hilarious as Kite Man too, because that actor, he has played a dick before in other things. So I was like, I even remember him in Bridesmaids in the very opening scene where he's having sex with Kristen, what's the name? And then afterwards, he's like, "Oh, you're still here?" And she's like, "Yeah, I thought we could get, coffee and we can." He's like, "I really just want you to leave." I'm like, wow. I remember that. Yeah, you remember that? I was like, yo, he just had sex with her and then just wanted to throw her out of his fucking house. Then he didn't even open the door so she could get out. Remember, she had to climb over the fucking fence. Like, yo.
That movie was hilarious, man. Like I haven't watched it in a long time, but goddamn.
I'll never forget that opening scene, because John Hamm was just like, he was like, she was like trying to stay, and he was like, "I really just want you to leave. I'm not trying to be a dick, but I really just want you to leave." Like, really, literally, right after they finished having sex, he just like wanted her, and then he woke up like, "Oh, you're still here?"
But you gotta go. I think he's definitely a great casting choice. John Hamm is still, as I told you guys before, but also I think I told Ronnie, John Hamm is still on my list as like, celebrities. I still watch his art, but like he's kind of on my list as a person who, straight to my face. I remember I told you this from the Kelly show, right? You remember?
Oh wait, you tried to meet him before and he was a dick?
Yep. So I remember I was at the Kelly show, and I remember it was cold as shit. It was cold as shit outside.
Oh wait, I keep looking around, by the way, because I hear a noise. Like, what the hell is that noise?
Oh, then you about to get killed on camera, Jesus! Somebody gonna just snatch him up like, please, no, not today.
I mean, as long as no none or some shit pop up from behind the couch or some shit.
Now wait, this is what I want to say to you. What do you think I'm going to be able to do is if I look over your shoulder and see something with like yellow eyes just standing over your shoulder, just looking, and then I feel like, well,
from my point of view, you just be like, and then the screen is kind of like, all you can probably do is just call the cops. That's about it.
Yo, that's
all you can do is like call the cops, and then that's it, and hope that I made it out alive.
Oh, Jesus Christ! That I can't. I don't know. I don't know what to do now. I'm losing it. I just keep looking at the fact that the thing grab you and then throw you against the ceiling and nobody can see it. You're just like,
I just come back down like, and then it's just quiet on my end.
Now then the crazy part would be if whatever it is, let's say for instance, it's like a like some type of ghost or something that wants to take over your body, and then it just comes back and you just come back and sit in the chair and it's just like,
come back like,
I'm Ronnie. And it's like,
or just smile.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah, we're gonna go ahead and end that show. I'm done. So the God, what we talking about? But
we're talking about Peacemaker.
So a Peacemaker, yeah. Oh yeah, John Hamm. I'm sorry, my John Hamm story of meeting him in New York at the Kelly show. So I understood that at that moment in time that he was running late, so to speak, right? So I was the only person outside in the little like press area for so I wasn't even waiting for him. I didn't even know he was there. So he came out of the car. Like the car pulled up. You know how it is. Your car pulls up in the celebrity car. And I look and I go, oh shit, John Hamm. And it's funny because the night before I met this motherfucker, I saw, and I don't know if this movie ever actually came out. And I feel like I've seen a movie that's probably going to maybe come out this year. Top Gun 2. Did that come out yet?
No, that never came out.
Jesus Christ. Okay, so I saw early
Yeah.
too.
I guess they're looking for the right time right now.
Yeah, Top Gun 2 came out and John Hamm is in it. He's a dick in the movie. He's like one of those typical like Navy captains that like doesn't want them to do this thing, but they ignore him and wind up beating the bad guys. But anyway, so I just saw this guy in a movie like the night before, because I went to early screening for Top Gun 2. And I saw him jump out of the car. I was like, holy crap. Hey, John Hamm, like, it's really nice to meet you. Like, I just saw you last night in the early screening of Top Gun 2. Like, good job, this, that, and the other. And he just, like, kind of buzzes me off. Like, yeah, okay, whatever. And then he goes in, and I'm like, oh.
Like, holy shit. Okay.
He didn't even give me eye contact. And, like, I'm behind the barricade or whatever. And he goes in. Now, you remember how Kelly was. Kelly has 2 doors. It's the garage that you go in with your car. But the car didn't pull into the garage. He just pulled on the outside of the garage. So he gets out, walks past me, but he's walking behind the barricade, and he goes in the side door. And I'm like, oh, John, that's not the right door. And again, he's just kind of like fucking paparazzi, whatever. I ain't got no camera. I got nothing. I ain't got nothing. I don't even have anything for him to sign because I didn't even know he's fucking coming. So he goes into the wrong door. He comes out of that wrong door. Now he's even more pissed off. And I'm like, hey, John, again, big fan. I you might be in a rush. Can I get a quick selfie? And he looks at me and goes, no, why would I do that? And then he just goes into the garage. And I'm just like,
holy shit.
Nobody else out there, just me and him. And I'm just like, okay, I understand. And I'll say this to people who are listening. And if John Hamm ever hears it, I know you don't owe me shit. You don't owe me anything, right? I was only like just telling you, hey, I just saw your movie. And then I was just like, oh, cool. Like, it would be nice to get a picture with like an actor that I actually like in movies and if paid to see his movies. I understand that you're not guaranteed to get anything and you might have just been having a bad day. But I just hope that one day, both John Hamm and Charlize Theron, 2 people who have been assholes when I've met them in person, by myself, no crowd, no excuse of like, big crowd was coming for me. Oh, like no excuse. Charlize Theron, twice in one day. So I don't know about you.
I mean, you know me. I mean, not to get on that rant, but same thing happened when I met Spike Lee. We were both there together, the Fast and Furious. Me and Jawad. Jawad was literally standing right next to me. And I'm like, oh my God, Mr. Lee, do you mind if I get a selfie? And he looks up and he goes, no, the movie's about to start. Mind you, that movie didn't start till like 15 minutes later.
Longer than that.
And the crazier part of that story is when we were slowly walking away, awkward now, because he said no, they're like, can we get security over here? I'm like, yeah, because you guys aren't celebrities. No one else is going to come over here when they notice Spike Lee sitting here. What the fuck? Again, it's like, hey, you know the solution for that? Don't be famous. Maybe don't get a job in the entertainment industry if you don't want people to be bothering you.
Well, people want to get a picture with you. It's just like a thing, Again,
that's the kind of a thing that happens when you're famous.
If we're ever blessed, I will learn from John Hamm and Charlize Theron. No matter what I'm doing, I believe personally, and I'm trying to give him the benefit of the doubt. I personally believe that John Hamm was running late that day. And I don't know why he was running late that day. I think he's just human and he was having a bad day. He just was telling me to fuck off because he was trying to get to work. And I understand that. And I hope that one day I can meet him again and he's not that way. But if he's that way a second time, like Charlize Theron, fuck you and your movies. Like, I'm just pretty much.
I'll tell you, going back, just to bring it back to Peacemaker with John Cena, we did meet John Cena, and that man was very, very awesome to me. I would tell you, John Cena was so dope. I only was lucky enough to meet him once, but John Cena was so fucking dope that I missed him. All I got the first time, I only got him to autograph. I remember I had a pop and I had something else. And he said, one per customer, my friend, which anybody who knows, if you meet John Cena, he's going to tell you one per customer, my friend. But so he signed my pop. Yeah, he told me to choose one. Oh, I had like a poster from that other movie he did where the kids were like planning to have sex or whatever. I forgot the name of it. Oh, Cock Blockers. I had a poster for that and I had the pop. He told me to choose one. I chose the pop, of course. I'm like, all right, fuck that movie. So I chose that. He signed that. And then I remember like, and then like he kind of went down the road. I was like, oh shit, like I was so like in the moment of him signing, I forgot to ask for a picture. This guy was like 6 people down from me. One of the other people next to me was like, John, he didn't get a picture. And he's like, oh shoot, I'm so sorry about that. He came all the way back and took a selfie with me. And I was like, I was so taken back by that because you know, the thing, like you said with John Hamm, he didn't have to do that. He could have been like, sorry, maybe next time, and kept going. But no, he actually came back, and I was like, oh, man. But I don't think sometimes some celebrities don't realize, and they probably don't give a shit at the end of the day, but some people don't realize the impact that has. It's like, just like I was saying before, when she was like, you meet Kevin Smith again? Yeah, I'd meet Kevin Smith 30 more times and buy his merchandise and stuff because the guy's not an asshole.
I think what's to be said about so my 4 times I've met John Cena. The first time I met him was AOL. He signed my world title belt. The second time I met him was Good Morning America. Which a cool thing, if you go back to that video segment with Good Morning America, I'm actually in the segment with him, which I'm actually because I'm the tallest person there, so they put me like towards the end. But the cool thing is that they wanted him to do a run out like he does in wrestling. So I'm literally when he's standing there and about to do his run out, I'm standing right in the center of the aisle, like right in the middle, right there. So like he does his run out or whatever, and it was cool because I'm standing next to him. He's working because he's about to do the run out, and I was like, "Hey, John, you think I could get a picture?" He's like, "Yeah, go ahead. Just lean in. I can't move." And I just leaned in. He's like, picture, was it good? I said, "Yeah." He's like, "All right, man." He's like, Thanks for checking out the show. He's like, you going to go see the movie? I don't remember what the fucking movie was. I don't know why I'm whispering, but that's what he
oh, yeah.
whispering to me because he was literally on camera and like he leaned, he didn't move.
See, like that's fucking awesome. I mean, remember Kevin Smith did the same thing with the donuts, remember? And I was like, can I get a selfie? And he was just like, jump on in.
Like, spin in. I'm just serving these donuts. Third time I met him was a face-to-face conversation. The third time I met John Cena, I was doing a press gig with Getty Images at Barnes & Noble, and they were about to do a signing for his book. I forget the name of it. It was a children's book.
Oh, the children's book he wrote. I remember.
And I was the photographer for Getty Images for that. And that was awesome because they were like, oh, you're from Getty Images? Come here for a second. And they brought me up on stage, and I'm standing there just staring at him like I ain't never met him before. And I'm just like, oh, shit. I was over there like, hey, man, how's it going? Good to meet you. He's like, you the photographer? Okay, cool. So all the Barnes & Noble people like go on a group shot real quick. So I'm like, oh, shit, like, snap. Okay, I get that shot. And he's like, how was that? How'd that come out? And he's like, good God, man. And I was just like, he's like, that's a good picture. And he just like, he was trying to make me scared. Like I took a bad picture or whatever. And he just like, did you get a picture? And I was like, no. Again, he's like, hey, come over here. Went in, took a little picture. Boom. We did a selfie together for there. And then like, I took a picture of him for work. And then he's like, oh, don't forget your book down there.
He's like taking care of everybody. Like taking care of everybody. Yeah.
He literally made that announcement because he had just came from Jimmy Fallon. I remember that. He had on a blue suit with a white shirt. He had just came from Jimmy Fallon from signing outside. And he literally told everybody, he's like, hey, sorry I'm late, but I was out there trying to take care of everybody down by Jimmy Fallon, right down the street here. But just know, every single one of you guys are going to get a chance to get the book signed, which they're already signed, and you're also going to get a picture with me. Every single one of you guys that are here are going to get that. So as long as you're in the building, you're going to get a picture. And he's like,
yay!
I was cheering, like, yeah, and he's absolutely right. And then the fourth and last time I met him was at right around the corner from there. It was a bookstore signing that he did for that same book. But that time around, I got the clear Funko Pop. He had the trans.
Oh yeah, you can't see me.
Yeah, see me, and I had that sign. He's like, "You got the book?" And I was like, "Oh, I got it down the street at Barnes & Noble." And he's like, "Oh, hey, I remember you." And I was like, "He remembered." Oh shoot. And I'm like, well,
now, of course, I want to meet the actor that plays Violator now. I mean, Vigilante. I keep saying Violator. I'm thinking of Spawn.
Vigilante is by far a favorite of many people. Some have compared him to Deadpool. I don't compare him to Deadpool.
No,
just
I don't think he's Deadpool. Like I said, he's like fucking McLovin and Hit Girl. That's how I think. I don't see Deadpool because one thing, Deadpool is like kind of actually smart. Like the Vigilante is not that smart. But Deadpool on the other side is smart because, like, you know, when he does make his smart, quirky comments, they make sense because Deadpool's actually smart when you think about it. Because he'll be like, yes, that's kind of what happens when you put a shotgun shell in a shotgun. Like, you know, like but Vigilante's not that smart. He's like, you know, like the scene you were talking about. He's like, oh, this is a perfect moment for you to be doing your facial exercises. It's like not why he's crying, you idiot. Like, yeah,
which
like he just had to kill his own father, you fucking asshole.
For anybody who's just checking out Peacemaker, you know, we're talking about episode 7 and 8 is coming up next week as the season finale. And I was asking Ronnie before the show, and I encourage you to please stick around after every credits of every show. There's like a quick little 30-second segment that connects to the episode for every single one of them, and they're hilarious.
Yeah, it seems like it was like just extra B-roll footage of them ad-libbing their scene. I'm like, yeah, but I told you, you know, ever since go back to fucking childhood, ever since Masters of the Universe, so that after credit with Skeletor, I feel like I know the MCU gets credit, but I'm gonna give Masters of the Universe. Ever since I saw that and Skeletor popped up, I'll be back. It just got me in the habit of watching all the damn credits after the movie. So yeah, when I first was watching Peacemaker, I was like, I'd be sitting there, like kind of on my phone while the credits are still going. And then that's when I saw the first one. I was like, oh, this is after credit? And
I didn't know one. Marvel now, like, there's an after. So for you guys that don't know, there is an after credits in Boba Fett, which is basically for the Mandalorian. It's not like it's a bad guy, nothing like that. It shows you that a good guy that you think dies in Boba Fett gets brought back to life. Like, that's it. That's all it is. Like, you see, because he mentions it earlier on, which is like, he's like, he mentions it at the end of episode 7 in Book of Boba Fett, which is somebody is using my Bacta tank right now. And then it goes off and it's like, who's using the Bacta tank? And then you think, oh, maybe it's his Wookiee friend that he makes in the show. And it's like, no, when they show who it is, you see, oh, that guy. There's a funny Timothy, you know from Mandalorian, Timothy Oliphant, you know that actor, right?
Oh yeah, from Die Hard and stuff.
Yeah, what's hilarious is introduction of Cad Bane is him murdering Timothy Oliphant. Yes.
Oh shit.
Which
it's also, you know, it's funny. He's also a legacy character too, because he was also one of the killers in the Scream series, if you remember.
Yes.
And the second one, I believe. Yeah, the second one.
Yeah, second movie, because he was
because Billy Loomis's mom turns out to be the killer. Spoiler alert if you haven't seen Scream 2, it's been like fucking forever. But no, Billy Loomis, and then Sydney was like, why? And he was like, you know why, Sydney? Because college tuition is a lot of money.
I just feel like, again, I want to ask, now that we've seen six Screams now? Is this number 6 or number 5?
No, this is the 5th one.
This is the 5th. Okay, so we've seen 5 Scream movies. I want to talk to Kevin Richardson again, and I want to ask him, hey, is it by design that each one of these movies, like in terms of their killers, there always seems to be some real world thing that you feel like is your own personal feeling about something in the world that's going on that you then give as a reasoning to your villains?
Could be a possibility. I just hope that it's actually good. The next one, don't kill Sydney. Give us better killers. The end. Look, the end, because it was the only problem I had with that movie. Like, because the deaths were fucking awesome. Like, the death, especially Judy. Yo, they took just because we're talking about it for a second. They took my heart with Judy. I left the theater like I was driving home. Damn, like what they did to Judy, man.
He really
had this chick.
Oh.
They really took her out of her element because they had her. And then like, yo, she got that was like, I'm gonna call it what it is. To me, that was the most raw, dope ass killing of the entire series. That shit happened in broad daylight. Like, yo.
That's what happens in the suburbs. Broad ass daylight.
That shit was in broad daylight and caught her ass off guard. Cause I was thinking, she's gonna go into the house and then draw her gun. And that's probably what the killer was thinking. Well, if I get on the porch, she probably gonna be in shock mode and then gotcha.
Pretty much.
And they did a fucking Mortal Kombat fatality on fucking Dewey, unfortunately. He was like, yeah.
Yo, she like picked him up.
Picked him up and was like, it's an honor. Like, fuck.
Fatality. Spoilers for anybody who didn't see the new Dewey dies. Sorry.
No, Dewey, no.
So Timothy Oliphant, when he gets shot, and it's funny because like I kind of felt like he didn't die. So I was wondering like if he was gonna come back for the finale, and then they just kind of like shook their head like, nope, he's not coming back. And Cad Bane shows up, and he basically there's a town, the little town that he's in from The Mandalorian, which is now called Freetown because the Mandalorian helped like free them from like the monster that was there. They're all free and whatever. He comes and asks them for help, like, hey, come help Boba Fett, and this is that and the third. It's like, I will think about it. And then Cad Bane shows up not too long after because he works for the Syndicate. He's a bounty hunter. And he's like, let the spice run, boy. Like, just let it, like, which basically means don't interfere with our drug operations or else. And Timothy Oliphant's like, well, like, what do you mean or else? Like, what are you going to do? And they're both standing there like they're about to like have an old school Western, shootout or like a Western fight. And stupidly, the fucking deputy, the little mouthy deputy in the episode comes out and says, you good, Sheriff? And he's like standing there and he's like, go back inside, deputy. Like, this ain't got nothing to do with you. And of course, the problem is that the sheriff is concerned about the deputy. So while he's like, deputy, go back inside, Cad Bane pulls gun out, bow, shoot right in the heart. Just falls. Oh, shit. But again, this is Star Wars. So nobody really dies in Star Wars because, it's Star Wars. If you think about it this way.
Well, I mean, they die. Like, well, they do. But when they die, they die. Mace Windu, he died. Like,
we don't know.
Han Solo, he died.
We don't know. But look at that. Like, Han Solo is a Force ghost now. Mace Windu is a Force ghost now. Darth Vader got fucking burnt up on lava and got turned into a half man, half machine.
And I think Luke Skywalker died.
Luke Skywalker died, but he became a Force ghost. Nobody from the good guys literally dies. They become Force ghosts.
I think Luke deserved a better send off than the way he went, but it wasn't too bad. That scene he had was kind of dope.
It was a cool scene. It was definitely a cool scene where they basically like shot at him.
I got a bunch of Luke Skywalker pops. Holy shit! I think I got more.
New one?
No, not yet. I think I want to get the one where he's all black with the lightsaber that was from the Mandalorian.
No, there's one. Wait, there's one where it's him where he's holding Grogu. You got that one?
No, I don't have that one. I have some of the old school Luke Skywalker ones, like some of the Funkos that just came out. I mean that like the first one's out. I have one where he has the pilot helmet on, like from the old. A lot of the ones I have are from the old movies, and then I have the old man ones from like Force Awakens and stuff.
Yeah, his newest one, which is readily available at Target. It is on clearance right now.
And then just because we're on the subject of Mark Hamill, I'm like, I never realized that Mark Hamill was the Guyver. Did you realize that?
Yes.
I never realized that.
Only reason
the Guyver movie, I'm like, wait, that was Mark Hamill? What the fuck?
Yeah, like I learned that maybe like a month or two ago because I was watching something on YouTube and they were going through his career and that came up and I was just like, what?
Yeah, I'm like, Mike, you go back. Just like I was telling y'all in the group chat that in the second Ninja Turtle Secret of the Ooze, when Shredder becomes Super Shredder, that's Kevin Nash in the suit. Like, because they needed a big guy to play the actor. Bro. So he's like, it's not, and I saw an interview where he said it's not his voice that's a voiceover, but the shadow to keep the face hidden and him, that's Kevin Nash. I'm like, oh wow.
Kevin Nash is that big.
And I only discovered that because get a lot of pop sign. I was wondering why people are selling Super Shredder signed by Kevin Nash. And I was like, what the fuck? I'm like, wouldn't you get the actor that plays Shredder? Why are they getting Kevin Nash signed? And that's how I discovered it, looking it up. I'm like, oh shit, I never knew he was Super Shredder.
I don't know that. I have his NECA toys, so I will definitely save one of his NECA toys for the next time he does a convention.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, he does them a lot. Speaking of that, there's one I forget the name of the place. I can tell you offline, but there's one that I may go to on Sunday for the actor, and it's an old actor, but he's the last living actor from the series of Monsters. The guy that played Eddie Munster, the son. But he's doing a meet and greet somewhere in Lafayette, New Jersey. I forget the name of the store. I think it's Pandora's Box or something like that.
I know you're talking about. Somebody was there from WWE,
they do those too. But picture and autograph a picture and autograph with this guy is $30. So I'm like,
oh, that's easy.
You can't beat that at all. But I'm like, to have a Funko. I have the Eddie Munster Funko. I was like, to have it signed by one of the legendary actors from the original Monsters, especially on the heels of Rob Zombie remaking it with a new version coming out. That'd be dope. I'd also get to ask him, does he make a cameo in the new movie at all?
You never know. I mean, if he's the last living person, it just depends on what Rob Zombie's trying to do.
Yeah, the rest of the actors from the original show are all deceased.
Wow. Yeah, everybody?
Jeez. Everybody except Eddie Munster. They're just the one the guy that played the son.
60s, isn't it? It's from the 60s.
And he is in his late 60s, I believe. He's not super old. He's like in his late 60s.
But that makes sense because the show is from the 60s, so he was probably like 10 in the show, so
when they made it.
Which is funny to me because, like, if I remember his character correctly, he was like a wolf man. He was like a little wolf boy.
Yeah, he was like a little wolf boy. But we're still on that nostalgia kick this year because Monster Mania this year is gonna have freaking Marty McFly's mom. Oh my god. Leah Thompson. That's gonna be awesome too.
Wait, did we meet her?
No, we met. You're confusing her with the chick from The Boys, probably.
Which is the girlfriend.
Yeah. Wait. Yeah. Oh yeah, she was the replacement girlfriend from the original actress.
No. Wait, it was. I'm trying to remember. Wait, the girl from The Boys is the girlfriend, or is it the mom?
No, remember the girl from The Boys? She was the replacement actress that plays Marty's girlfriend in the sequel. And that actually, it's funny you say that because the original actress that played his girlfriend in the first movie, she's also gonna be at that con.
Okay, I'm trying to think. Cause wait, when we did that interview with her, the
only reason I remember that is because in Back to the Future 2, when they go into the future, there's a scene where I forget the actress name. She's the same one that was in that made the cameo in Cobra Kai. But she has a scene where she runs into herself and she's like, I'm old. And she's like, I'm young. And they both pass out.
Okay. Huh. Okay. I couldn't remember. But wait, then that means I'm trying to think back to the interview. Did I call her Marty's girl?
When we interviewed her, you called her Marty's mom. And remember, I corrected you because she was like, I wasn't the mom, that was the girlfriend. And
that's what I said. I'm like,
because I think some point during the interview you were like, when you played Marty's mom, and she corrected you right away, but I corrected you too. No, she played the girlfriend. They're like, oh yeah, there they go.
I meant to say girlfriend, but goddamn, I was like, it's one of the things where you're saying it to yourself a couple times, and then when you get in front of them, you say so Marty's brother. It's like, I'm a woman. And it's like,
oh yeah, and you're right. The Monsters is from the 60s.
Yeah, I thought that was during the 60s because it was a black and white show.
And then the show, it was on the 60s.
During the 60s, yeah. But guys, we went through quite a bit tonight. We started off with into wrestling. We spent a good chunk of time with AEW wrestling.
If we failed to mention it, welcome to the Ronnie and Markell Make a Podcast show. I'm like, we did so much talking, I don't even know if we did an intro. So
I'm gonna say at this point, if you are looking for an intro, like if you listen to us this long and you're still looking for an intro, I don't know what to tell you. But like,
and I say to you, welcome. Make sure you hit that wonderful like and subscribe button so you can hear more of our wonderful shows.
I just hit that subscribe button. We want to see you. We want to see that plaque from YouTube.
Help us get one of those wonderful plaques on YouTube.
Get that 100.
So we can dedicate it to all the listeners, of course.
And we get that extra check with it too.
No.
Like, ain't no. But yeah, this has been another episode of Ronnie Markell Make a Podcast show. Once again, we went through, just to recap for you guys. We went through a recap of episode 7 of the
Peacemaker. Peacemaker.
No, wait. Oh, yeah, no, it was book. No, it was. They both were episode 7.
Oh, they both. Oh, that is a hell of a coincidence.
Yeah, they both were episode 7. Peacemaker has one more episode. Boba Fett is done for this first season, which I don't know if it's going to get a second season. That kind of doesn't need one, but
it will. I'm sure.
Only reason
despite fans being divided, I'm sure the ratings were dope enough that Disney's like, season 2, yeah.
It'll get it, and here's why. The reason why I think it's going to get a second season is, spoilers once again for anybody, Boba Fett and Cad Bane has a standoff. Like, they actually have a standoff, and they go to do the and draw, and Cad Bane shoots fucking Boba Fett. It's like, oh wait, I forgot, you're better with a gun than you is. And he's like talking to him like, listen, little boy, like, you're messing around. And he goes over to him, and old boy is kind of like playing. He got shot and he's hurt. But the thing that Cad Bane wasn't expecting, which he didn't know nothing about, was the fact that he got trained by the Tusken Raiders. So that big fucking stick on his back, he's paying no attention to it. So he literally, at the last second, pulls that out, clips him with it, and before Cad Bane can do anything, fucking shanks him in the chest, with it, and he falls back, and his hat falls off. But they showed him.
I was just thinking that who's the actor that plays the voice of Cad Bane?
In the live action or the
in the live action show. Do we know?
No, I have no idea. You can check that out. I think it's the same person from the Clone Wars. You can check that. I want to say I'm about 90% certain it's the same person. I don't know who's in the makeup because it's a live action thing, and he ain't CGI. He's all prosthetics. But he gets stabbed. But if you pay close attention to his chest, all of the little machinery that's attached to his chest.
Oh, it's an actor named Corey Burton.
Okay, who is Corey Burton? Does the voice in the costume.
Yeah, he's the voice
in the show.
Yeah, in the show, he's the voice.
Is he also the voice in the animated show?
Trying to look him up now. What the hell?
You can look up voice casts of the Clone Wars. Or that's what he was in. But so he gets stabbed, but the little machinery that's on his chest. So the cool thing that I love about Boba Fett that really pays a good amount of attention, a lot of attention on modifications to humans. And what I don't think I realized, I'll say, speaking for myself, I don't realize how many freaking people in the Star Wars universe are modified due to some form of injury. Right? So,
you're right. He is the same guy from the Star Wars Clone Wars.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
This guy is also voiced. This guy is also voiced some of the. Holy shit! Oh, he's been working with Disney forever.
Who else is he?
He's the voice of Captain Hook. He's the voice of Dale. He's the voice of Dale from Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers.
Oh, okay. He's a legend. All right, cool.
He's the voice of Shockwave and Transformers. He's the voice of Brainiac in Superman the animated series.
Makes sense.
Yo, and he's the voice of Hugo Strange in Batman Arkham City.
Oh, nice.
So he's So look, that means that he's got like Disney and Warner Brothers. Like he's working both of them.
Checks. He just got checks, just raining money to him. Like he's another Mark Hamill or Phil LaMarr or any of those guys. They just got checks coming out the ass for everything. All these residual checks for all these shows and voices they do.
Oh yeah, he's done a lot of stuff. His career is pretty good.
Yeah, so there's a lot of modifications to people. Like the person who has the biggest modification, who is also one of the most popular Star Wars characters, is Darth Vader. This dude's like 10% human in that damn suit. Like he's like RoboCop. He's a head with half a face and then a few body parts because he got burnt up. So they had.
I can't wait to see that show. I think that's going to be the most anticipated show when it comes out.
I need it all over my face.
Obi-Wan, people are excited for Obi-Wan, but I think when Anakin's show comes out, I think that's gonna be the.
Wait, what are you talking about? Anakin's show?
Wait, isn't he getting his own show, or is he in Obi-Wan's show?
Now listen.
I thought he was getting his own solo. Oh, he's a part of that show.
This show picks up right after him and have that last battle, which is like. Really?
Okay, and Disney's doing this? Okay, all right, okay. I'm like, after what we like, even thinking about when I watched fucking Hawkeye, when I was watching that opening scene with the Chitauri, them fighting Chitauri and how they connected Kate Bishop so easily, you telling me that they, all right, okay, cool.
I'll give you the synopsis. So at the end of Revenge of the Sith, he has that last final battle and he leaves him. You have underestimate my power. He jumped over there. Obi-Wan slices his ass in half. He rolls down, sets on fire. The Sith Lords and the Empire pick him up, put him into that suit, modify him, and basically turn him into Darth Vader.
Wait, so we literally he gonna be Darth Vader? I'm like, so we getting a show that's gonna have Darth Vader.
But you also got
so we're gonna get more Rogue One. Okay.
But wait. Besides that, what you're also going to get on there is the fact that, remember, the Revenge of the Sith is the moment when the Emperor finally reveals himself as the Emperor, and basically the villains are at the height. They're at the fucking height of villainy, and now the Jedis have been slain, and now it's just Obi-Wan. Like, that's why the poster, if you see the poster, it's just Obi-Wan in the desert with a lightsaber, because it's like, there are probably very few Jedi that I can actually go to that have
that's always been the great thing about Star Wars in general. The good guys have always been fucking outnumbered in that.
Always. So now he's going to have to go and basically, connect with people and like try to figure out how to he's basically on the run because the guy who's now like in charge of the Empire, both of those guys know Obi-Wan and want him dead. So now he's basically like trying to hide out from the Empire. One of the largest evil organizations in the galaxy are basically chasing him. So he's going to have bounty hunters after him. He's going to have Sith Lords after him. It just looks like it's going to be just a jizz fest of a Star Wars show. I'm just waiting.
Like I said,
let me have everything.
Be watching that show like,
And it's funny because it's back to back. Like we didn't really get a chance to talk about this, but we can kind of run through it quickly. There was a trailer from Warner Brothers.
That's right.
There are 4 big movies for 2022, and I know that they have TV shows and they have these 4 big movies. And I sort of counted some of them off, which was Aquaman, The Batman, Black Adam, and The Flash. Those 4 movies come out in 2022, right? So I just decided, you know what, let me go ahead and take a look. And I know some people might say, like, well, why are you comparing the two? Because they're both Marvel and DC, and they're going to be compared like Android and Apple for the rest of fucking life. Okay. Yeah. Like it's going to be that way. If you're in comics, it's going to be compared. Like there's no such thing as those two not being compared. It's apples. So anyway, looking at my notes real quick. So the things that Marvel has planned with both TV shows and movies. Now, I'm not even going to include the Disney other properties like Star Wars because it's just not a fair fight. So let's just not even talk about them. Let's just talk about Marvel. So Marvel for this year, everything Marvel adjacent and Marvel. We got Multiverse of Madness, we got Morbius, we got Thor, Love and Thunder, and we got Into the Spider-Verse 2. The Oscar-winning Into the Spider-Verse. We got the sequel coming out. Now, that's just on the side of movies. On the Disney Plus side, you got Moon Knight, Miss Marvel, She-Hulk, Secret Invasion, and What If Season 2. I'm just put that down. I don't even. That is
but
a total.
I will say that the things that DC has been doing as of late have struck my interest again. So I feel like they're not. Of course, we know they're both not in competition, but I feel like they are doing better. So it's not like I don't just currently I don't feel like it's WWE and AEW where we're like
No.
AEW and we're like WWE. I feel like it is like, okay, DC, all right, I'm interested because I saw that trailer and I was like, all right, I'm in. Take my money. I want to see all those. I want to see Aquaman 2. Love the first one. Got the guy right here on my wonderful wall. My favorite line from fucking movie, like just like that. I dig it. Like, you know. I mean, yeah, definitely my favorite character from the whole like Justice League stuff.
Here, so let's just real quick talk about the 4 DC properties that they had, and I'll say it quickly. The Batman, from a standpoint of what they've shown me so far, I'm interested in watching it and see what they do.
I mean, they had me at Riddler with Batman. I mean, that I'm just excited because Riddler has always been my favorite villain. So to see him not only again, but to see a more serious version of him, I think it should be an interesting movie.
I think they're going with a version of him that is similar to, if you look in history, the Zodiac Killer. So they're taking the Riddler and kind of mixing him with a sort of Jigsaw type, like a person who's smart.
And I was saying this earlier. I was like, it's gonna be very fucking hilarious if Riddler spends this movie in jail, because like, you know, we see the scene where they're arresting him, and so it's gonna be hilarious if he literally spends this movie in jail and all this shit starts happening and plays out that he, you know, orchestrated from start to finish. That would be fun. And then, you know, what I said too, another thing that I said, just because the Riddler is that guy and this type of person, I said, and this is all just speculation, I said, what if this whole movie transpires? Riddler's in jail, all this shit happens, and the actor that's the Riddler, that's not even the Riddler.
Yep.
like you find out later on, the real Riddler's, you know, like in Gotham, but somewhere else, or just doing something all together, but that's not even him. I would be like, yo, that would be mind fucking blowing that the guy that they're showing us doing all this stuff is not even the Riddler. That would be fucking hilarious.
Cool, because I would say that I haven't seen a swerve. Are you now? Let me make sure I ask this correctly. Are you saying that they're trying to swerve us in which the actor that they're telling us is playing the Riddler is not really the Riddler?
Yeah, it's not even him.
Riddler, because that would be that's a one hell of a switch. That's a bait and switch that I like very much.
I mean, think about it. Like, if they showed us backstory and said, like, and this is all speculation, but if they showed us, like, what if he promised that guy certain things if he did? Like, you know what I mean? Like, he talked to that guy early, and this is all part of his plan. Follow my instructions, and there will be $100 million waiting for you after you do your year sentence or whatever, blah, 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 get you out. And then this guy's just like, okay. You know what I mean? So he goes through with all this stuff.
To be honest, I'm gonna tell you some of the things I'm looking forward to in this movie that I hope that I get. Since we're just speculating on stuff, I'm gonna say that I like your idea about the Riddler. They're very much so. I like that. I personally, since this is year 2 Batman, I personally have one wish for this movie, and what I hope is that this movie connects to the Court of Owls. That's all I need. That's all.
Oh, yeah, I remember you were saying that. So you're gonna be standing up in the theater like, I knew it. I knew it.
Because if you're telling me at this point in time that we're going to dive into a year in Batman's career that we've never jumped into, it would behoove me if fucking not Marvel, DC decided to ignore some of your best fucking stories that you have made in the comics within the last 15 years. If you decided not to go the route of giving me like just a glimpse into seeing those things live action. Like, shout out to Scott Snyder. He's our writing school teacher online. If you guys don't know about his class, it's a pretty awesome class through Best Jacket Press.
It's not even too late to sign up. I think you can still sign up for it.
It's like $7 a month if you want to do it that way, or like $75 a year. It's pretty awesome. But Scott Snyder has done some of the best work, not only for Batman but for Justice League, in many, many years. And I would love to see some of this more recent stuff start to make its way into the movies, kind of like Marvel's doing. Like they're taking characters in there, like Kamala Khan and Miles Morales, and this version of She-Hulk. Like all of these characters that we've seen within the last like 20 years or so have really great runs by different writers. Now, again, I also want to add to that, hey, can we slide a writer a check or something, or artist a check or something? I'm sick of hearing these stories.
I remember I said that at a con. Remember a couple of years back at the arts high school we went to in New York, and I was saying like, wait, animators don't get residuals and stuff. I'm like, why not? I mean, I'm pretty sure that there's plenty. I'm pretty sure that there's plenty of money going around that they could get these residuals.
Pretty sure there is. The thing about it is very simply put it this way. They're greedy.
Look, if you talk to the higher ups, they're like, yeah, it's pretty simple, Ronnie. Yeah, we ain't trying to do that.
We like to keep all the money.
Like, you want the simple answer? We ain't trying to do that. You need to get the fuck out of my office. Oh, okay. All
right. So they also showed a glimpse into Black Adam. And I will basically say the only thing I cared about in the Black Adam little teaser that they gave us was everybody but Black Adam.
Nah, I would say I care. I'm like, everybody looks dope. Like was it Dr. Fate with the helmet, Pierce Bronson? Like, he looked awesome.
Dr. Fate
was it Hawkman?
Hawkman looked amazing.
Everybody looked amazing. So I'm excited. I can't wait. And like I said before, like, I'm like, as long as this project has been in production, I just think that it's because The Rock is just gonna make sure it don't suck.
I'm all for The Rock doing it. Listen, go for it. I just don't care.
And come on, like, God knows, like, this guy trains. As we speak, he's probably grinded to the grind because this guy is training like he's
figure for this movie.
This guy's trained. He trains like he's gonna defend the world from an alien invasion. So I'm like, hey, I can't wait to see like what he looks like when we finally get a full-on glimpse, because they keep giving us like clips. I want to see like a full-on and see what Black Adam does in this movie. I'm pretty sure it'll be.
My thing is this: it's so much. Because you got to remember, Black Adam is supposed to be before Shazam, because they mentioned Black Adam in Shazam, but things didn't go so well. Like, he didn't do something good. At the end of it all, he killed a lot of people. And it wasn't, maybe the story is being told different by the Wizard. We don't know. But it don't seem like things went so well in terms of him becoming this great good guy.
You know what's funny is, like, if they connect that with Shazam and you find out, oh yeah, all the people he killed, yeah, those were all bad guys. He's killed a lot of people.
Which, like, I understand, but at the same time, again, I love the visuals of everything. Like, I was drooling at the visual of Dr. Fate. That looks gorgeous.
Yeah, that shit looked awesome. That looks
gorgeous. And, Dr. Fate, for you guys that don't know, you can Google him. I'm not going to, like, explain Dr. Fate, but yeah, you can Google him.
And it was Hawkman, and what was it, Adam Smasher, and they all look dope as fuck. And I swear, that actor, Mina, this guy looks like Mark Ruffalo's son. I'm sorry. Like, Mark Ruffalo, you might have some explaining to do, man.
The cool thing is that I don't know if he was like fired from it or he quit it or whatever it was, but he was also.
I think he wound up leaving He-Man for Master of the Universe for creative differences.
Okay. Okay. I'm be honest. I understand that they made him big for this movie and he's Adam Smasher and all this other stuff. From the beginning, for me, I've said this before, and some people may agree or disagree. It's my own opinion. I looked at him and I said, I don't see He-Man. Like that was
He-Man's a tricky one. I don't know. Let's see how that goes even with the actor they pick. I feel like that's a tricky one to try to bring to life, especially in this day and age. It worked the first time with Dolph Lundgren, and that's just because of the time period. You know, you could do the cheesier stuff back then. I don't know. Like, I don't know, unless they're gonna try to go with a more Game of Thrones approach this time around. I don't know. But here's the thing. I feel like I'm more interested to know who's gonna be the voice of Skeletor. Is it gonna, because there's so many actors you could get. You could get, what's his name? Bill Nye, the fucking guy from Underworld. Like, you could get him.
I wouldn't do him.
I don't want to see Mark Hamill again. I mean, you already used him on the show. You could even have Tony Todd. You could have, there's like so many different distinct voices that you could give to Skeletor for live action. Oh, you know who else? And this is probably out of left field. You could even give him like fucking, what's his name? What the fuck is this actor? Fucking Freddy Krueger.
Robert Englund?
Robert, yeah, like you could even give him like Robert Englund or something.
Wait,
like
I'm
that.
confused. Why are you voicing him? It's a live action thing. I'm confused why you're just voicing him.
What do you mean? No, I mean, I'm pretty sure that Skeletor is gonna be fucking CGI.
Why would he be CGI? He wasn't CGI the first time.
He wasn't, but I feel like I feel like we have way more technology to make him look at Cad Bane. You telling me that shit wasn't CGI? I didn't even watch it.
No, that's not CGI. I literally just said that. That's not CGI. That's prosthetics. That's not CGI.
Is it completely?
Yes. That's the only thing that they probably did to CGI him was like his eyes are like bugs, so they're like bright red and they light up. That's probably the only thing.
Okay. Because I was like, I see something on Skeletor probably is gonna be like that too. Probably.
I would say, okay, if you want to cheat a little bit, the only thing that you could probably do with him is like put dots on his face and then do CGI that way and kind of do it. But you don't need to do a full body version of him like that.
How about what's the name? Josh Brolin.
I don't want to see him do that.
Skeletor.
Because when I look at him, I'm going to see the purple and I'm immediately think Thanos.
You know what you're going to do? This is what you got. You get Chris Tucker. Chris Tucker, man. Hey, He-Man, don't come over here with that bullshit, man.
Nah. I think
no, let me stop.
Who can be him for sure, but if I was choosing
I'm gonna think of some more actors for a future episode.
Absolutely. I think
casting of the voice of Skeletor.
If I was going to cast somebody, my number one choice, depending on what he's doing at the time, to be Skeletor would be there's two people. I would either do Benedict Cumberbatch or Daniel Craig. But those are the two people I would do as Skeletor.
I was thinking Jeremy Irons.
He's too old.
Yeah, okay. He's not too old, man. That man is doing the damn thing.
Think about it this way. When you're trying to
think about it. He's not too old. Skeletor's a fucking Skeletor. I mean, a skeleton. He ain't too old.
No, but the thing is like you want Skeletor. If you're trying to do Skeletor, like when they did it with Dolph Lundgren, that actor himself was like, somebody. But when they put him behind that, like, skull face and everything like that, you wanted him to slip back into it. If you get somebody with such a recognizable voice, like, I don't know, Scar, it's kind of like, oh, that's Jeremy Irons. And it's like, no, that's Alfred. No, nigga, that's Jeremy Irons. Like, that's
I don't know. It depends because those actors are good. Like, I would love Bill Nye, like from fucking Underworld. That guy, he can play any. I love his voice in Bad Guys.
Has that face that looks like you could easily add the prosthetics to make him look like Skeletor with no problem. Another person I would probably choose that has some work with mocap, if you want to do some mocap with him, is Andy Serkis. Andy Serkis is a fucking Oscar-winning mocap guy. So and he's also obviously his facial expressions are amazing. So huge.
Yeah, I can see him doing it too.
I know we're sitting here doing like fantasy casting for Masters of the Universe. I had these little
dun,
mini.
dun, 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 dun.
But the thing is that for me, if I'm casting for this, and this is just me, if I'm casting for this, I need a significant part for Skeletor. And
yeah, that's what I mean. Like it has to. I feel like it has to be somebody that has that. You know what? Let's throw it. Let's throw it left field. Voice of Skeletor, Jamie Foxx.
No, Jamie Foxx, but I will give you another.
He gonna be like, look at look at here, He-Man. Yeah, I'm gonna need y'all to.
This is my choice. If I chose a black guy, that if you want to use somebody that would be totally different, I would use Mustafa Shakir, the dude who played what's his face, the bad guy in he was just in Cowboy Bebop, and then he played the bad guy. We talked him on the show.
I know who you're talking about. Yeah,
he was in Luke Cage, the bad guy.
Stokes, Mariah Stokes.
Yeah. You take that guy and you put him in some prosthetics, and like you could literally turn him into a.
They gotta save him. He's my villain choice if they ever make live action Princess and the Frog.
I guess, but what would be the point of that movie?
Because Disney's probably gonna do it at some point. You know they are. Come on, like look, how many of their movies have they brought live action? Ain't no point to it, but I'm pretty sure they're gonna do it at some point.
Think about it. Live action wise, they've only done.
Princess and the Frog is definitely one that they could make live action.
It's kind of pointless. I'm telling you, it's not to me.
Well, so was Cinderella and all the other ones that they made live action.
What I'm saying, you're when you talk about their live action cinema stuff that they
you mean like Lion King? What was the fucking point of that live action? Wait, especially after they made the Jungle Book, which was basically like the same fucking thing. Like they were, there was no. Wait, you're right. You know, they weren't the same thing because one was a giant piece of shit and one was really good, and it wasn't. And spoiler alert. It wasn't the Lion King. That was.
I'm gonna tell you like this. When it comes to, oh shit, I forgot I had this. I found this. Look at that.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I'm gonna need to take that and take that off your hands for you.
Oh, don't worry. When she shows up in the next show, I'm just like, oh, okay, got that first appearance. All right, cool, right there. The I would say, I'm trying to think. Damn, I lost my train of thought there.
Shit, brain farts.
Bring me back to who we were just talking about.
Wait, now you got me thinking. It's getting late. Yeah. We both, the old man just up kicking in. You got me like, wait, what are we talking about again? Wait, we're talking about actresses, weren't we? Shit, yeah, I don't forgot.
Bring back to the original point. Getting off of the fantasy casting for He-Man. The original point of what we were talking about is that there's a trailer you can go out. It's about a minute trailer of advertising the next 4 DC movies, and honestly, they do look good. Like I said, in Batman, I'm looking forward to seeing if they take the detective route. In Aquaman, I'm looking to see what other parts of the Aquaman world.
Atlantis.
Yeah, they already went to Atlantis and explored. Like that first movie basically kind of explored most of everything. You gave me 2 of his biggest villains in one movie. So this Lost World should be really fucking amazing.
Hey, I mean, it's okay because if it's not amazing, I mean, Marvel will just make it up when they bring Namor to, because I know Marvel. I'm telling you, they got spies on the inside. There's no coincidence. I guarantee you that Namor is going to show up soon after Aquaman 2. There's no fucking, I swear somewhere he's going to show up, whether it be in Black Panther 2 or an after credit of Black Panther 2, if he ain't in the movie.
He's going to show up at some point. I feel like Namor is definitely not going to be an actor that we all know very well. He's going to be somebody who I would say, the perfect person for Namor is an actor, Henry Golding. If you don't know who Henry Golding is, Henry Golding's been in a lot of stuff. But Henry Golding is also the dude who played Snake Eyes in the new movie
Okay.
he played him. And I look at him and I was watching him in that movie and I was just like, while this movie's not that great, I can see him making that transition. He reminds me, going back to the beginning of our show and coming full circle, he reminds me of the people that they're pulling from NXT over to AEW. I look at Henry Golding and I say, this kid's got a lot of miles left on him. And I know he's not a kid, he's a grown-ass man, but like, yeah, his kid's got a lot of miles left on him that he just needs a part that he can play for like the next 10 years. Because I'm pretty sure at this point, Marvel is looking for those kind of people. Like they got 13 years out of Robert Downey and Chris Evans and Chris Helmsworth and Chris Pratt and all these other people. And they're now coming down to sort of the end of their basic story and now introducing a bunch of other people that will eventually bring them back around to other characters. But right now they're telling a bunch of new, interesting stories that can, relate back to recent books and characters that have come out within the last, like Miles Morales is just celebrating like his 10th anniversary in comics, so you got these very new characters that still have like a couple of hundred issues, like Captain, Miss Marvel and Carol Danvers, as we know her now. There's so many different areas.
Oh yeah, we got that coming too at some point. The Marvels,
it's all coming out, and
and just a great time to be alive for all this stuff. I'm like, at one point, I feel like there wasn't enough shows and movies, and now it's just so many. I feel like we're fucking drowning in them. Like
you gotta just be prepared for the fact that
you just gotta take a few, and just because I'm trying to watch like 5 different shows and read, this different stack of books, and people telling me if it's not you, somebody else. Oh, you watch this, you read this. I'm like, oh my god, there's too much content.
I think that's a cool thing in the sense that like you always have something going on, and you can make great choices. And I don't know if you're still watching Abbott Elementary, but
definitely, yeah. And I think I saw somewhere that they're bringing that other book you were talking about to life, that Chainsaw one, the manga.
Yeah, it's getting a manga. Chainsaw Man. Yeah, Chainsaw Man.
I think that's getting either a live action or animated. One of the two. I read somewhere somebody bought the rights to do something with it.
Yeah, animated. There's 2 series that are coming out in 2022 that are not like rehashes, but they're new mangas that are getting the anime treatment. And I can recommend 2 of them: Spy X Family if you love comedy, and Chainsaw Man if you want to basically see a guy whose main goal is just like, he's really dangerous and he's the Chainsaw Man, but the main goal that he's trying to do is basically sleep with this girl. That's the gist of that show, which is just basically like, hey, if you go and use your powers and kill this monster for me, I'll sleep with you.
It's like, whoa, say no more.
Okay. And I was just sitting there just like, it is one of those things where it's like, it's several different instances where it's like that same girl that's like kind of pulling him along. It's just like, hey, Chainsaw Man, you got this thing going on. I'll show you my boobs if you go kill that guy across the town. And he's like, really? And he's across town. He's all like, let's go. And I'm like, is that the gist of this show? I'm laughing because it's just like, I can't believe that they make a freaking manga that's like, that's what this is.
And just to piggyback on Chainsaw, the one last thing I'll mention is, I don't think we talked about it, the what do you call it? Chainsaw Massacre. They have a new one that comes out very soon where, I don't know if you saw the trailer. It's going to be on Netflix. But it's supposed to be like a direct sequel from the original.
That's cool.
And it's literally a horrible ass situation where, I don't know if you saw the trailer, the people are like, a bunch of investors are gonna buy the town, but they have no fucking idea that Leatherface is still in and lives in this town with his mother. I'm like, yo, that's horrible. But those are the best kind of horror movies though, when the good guy people are not aware of some horrific ass shit, like buying a Chucky doll at a yard sale. It's like you know, like those make for the best horror movies. I feel like
you're literally speaking my language when it comes to that genre of film, which is this like unsuspected danger that is like lurking around the corner, and it's just like, to be honest, at this day and age and at this age of my life, I'm rooting for Leatherface in this movie.
Like where it'd be like, all right, I got it. We go to C2E2, and they're like, did you get us a hotel? Yeah, I found this cheap little motel over here called the Bates Motel. They hooked us up with some rooms.
I'm gonna need you to go ahead and cancel those reservations. You know, it's funny. That's not even too far fetched. If you remember, the last time we went to C2E2, I had booked a hotel for us closer to the place, but it was a like 2-star place. And he was like, "Nah, I'm not staying."
Yeah,
like what the fuck?
I think that's another reason too. I've seen way too many horror movies to stay in any of those smaller ones. Oh, I'm good.
Somebody just coming in with a chainsaw, like, oh my god,
or fucking pack us up and sell our organs on the black market. I'm good.
Ronnie, like, I need to stay in something more expensive. I'm like, well, nigga, you pay for it. Like, that's
yeah. That first year was awesome. Like, we like had like a 4-star, 5-star room.
Yeah, but the problem with that one is the fact that shit wasn't T-Mobile friendly.
Oh yeah, not at all.
So it was like,
hopefully this pandemic gets to a handle where we can start doing that again too.
Yeah.
I mean, no. I mean, no, it's not gonna be like this year, but you know what I mean. But I am gonna try a lot more, like try to get back into the convention scene this year.
I feel like if somebody had a camera and they're watching from 2020 to 2030, every single year we're gonna like, man, this pandemic, if we could just get a handle on it. If these motherfuckers just
you're
act
gonna
right,
be like Abbott Elementary, where you're like, yeah, you know, we could just get a, you know. These, you know, it gets down and you looking in the camera like,
yeah, literally. That's what I was sitting there doing. When you sitting there talking, I'm like, oh, okay.
I mean, so people just it's always virtual.
At some point, the same thing we're doing right now. At some point in time, we're just unfortunately going to get to a place where we're just all going to act like it didn't. It happened and it's over. That's what it seems like. Is gonna happen. Is
well,
like
not that it didn't happen, but yeah,
no,
I do think that slowly it may get to that point.
You get back to a point where you're just sitting in the theater, like looking, and you're just looking around, and you're just like, I'm the only guy in here with a mask on. What the fuck is going on right now? I need to. And Roddy, I'm eating my popcorn. It's like
look, I'm like, keep it down, man. I'm trying to watch the Batman 3, man. Relax.
I'm in there. Yo, you're gonna literally see me, like, me and AO got the respirator mask, and it's just like you hear a sound when you breathe from like. I'm like, listen, I can't do it. Like I am more than happy to go to a certain place and be around people I know and maybe like take my mask down, but I will go ahead and say to you right here now. Is very few places that I go to. I'm walking around like Darth Vader. So, are you ready for the action? And it's like, you ready to do the show? And it's like, yeah, let's do it. And it's like, I can't. I was so scared. Real quick, the AEW when they came to town in January, I went to a meet and greet for Mark Henry, Captain Sean Dean, and Thunder Rosa, which were awesome people. All of them were super nice. And I actually did take my mask off for the pictures. And it was funny because, like, as I started talking to Mark Henry, I started to slowly back away as I'm talking to him. And I'm like going over here. I'm just like, I'm putting my mask on. So I'm like, so, how's the transition been going over here? I listened to Busted Open and I'm slowly just putting my mask back on. And he just looking at me. He just like smile and he understands, like, okay, like I get it. And because in person, he literally said to me, like, man, it was like, he was just like disgruntled. And I'm just like, wait, on camera, you basically like being Vincent Good. And and in person, it's like, man, if I see the old man in the street, I'm gonna bust his ass. Like,
I mean, you don't think that a lot. I mean, you mentioned John Hamm before. You think that if there was a camera around, he probably would be like, "Hey, how you doing? Sure, young man." Right. Maybe sometimes that makes a
Really
difference.
sad. Really sad. But again, if I ever get a chance to meet you, John Hamm, again, I don't expect you to have heard this podcast, but I would hope that you're in a better mood that day. Otherwise, you would join the very short list of people like Sharice Theron, who are, I wish you all the best with falling downstairs.
Oh, wow. You're crazy. All
Like,
right. Well, on that note, we're going to head on into the sunset.
it's been a great long show. I'm certain by now you'll realize that this show will be cut into parts because it is far.
Oh yeah, because at this point you've been watching a 5.5-hour show. I know it hasn't been that long. Thank you for listening to the 5-hour edition of this Ronnie and Markell podcast.
Absolutely, guys, it's been a pleasure. I cannot do the show without this ugly guy that you see on the other screen there. But also, pretty awesome, so I probably could do it without him, so whatever. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and sign off, and as always we say that you must stay nerdy, stay classy, and make sure don't tip your waitress because she doesn't deserve it. No, I'm kidding.
But hit that wonderful like and subscribe button. Follow us on social media, that Ronnie and Markell podcast and Ron Moore podcast on the Twitters.
Oh yeah, baby. Please hit us up on there and let us know if you have any questions, comments, concerns, your feelings on any of the videos that you've heard from us. You don't like the review I made for Peacemaker or Boba Fett, you can suck it. I mean, no.
Or if you just want to say, hey, this video was way too fucking long. You guys cut it down, maybe 45 minutes, an hour. Shut the fuck up. Stop talking so long.
Hey, you know what? It's called a podcast for a reason. Right. Now you go ahead and it's like when you go ahead and say to somebody like, you know what? This podcast was long, but you're a stuck Irish pig. And you think that while I talk on this podcast.
I think in this day and age, you might get yourself canceled. Somebody
I don't care about
me. I mean that because everybody takes things out of context because they're gonna be like, "Whoa, he said suck Irish pig. That means he don't like pigs. He hates animals." And then you're like, "Whoa, that's not what I meant at all." Next thing you know, you got animal rights people like, "What you mean you don't like pigs? Ronnie Markell podcast don't like pigs." Like, what the fuck? Like, that's just the era of shit we live in now, where anything you say, you know what, I don't like brown pencils. Whoa, what you mean you don't like brown pencils? He racist. He talking about, I'm like, whoa. I don't even mean, but what I meant was canceled.
All I'm gonna tell you is that the only people who get canceled are the people that are important enough stars that people feel like,
you know what? It's just wishful thinking. I mean, not to get canceled. I mean, the famous part.
wishful thinking for getting canceled.
But
it's more along the lines of like, not like, I'm pretty sure somebody can listen to this and it could be the year 2030 and they go like, oh, I found that podcast where he said something about stuck Irish pigs. And you know what? At this point, if you're that person and you're listening to this and you're about to pull that sound clip, I hope that you safely drive your car drunk. Okay?
Safely? Okay.
Drive your car.
You know what? I hope that you make it home and that you have a good night's rest. Got it? Good.
After you fall down the stairs. And don't hurt yourself. Just wants you to get that moment.
So you just want them to be a little bit clumsy. Got it.
Get a little bit like, whoa, that was a little bit of a shakeup. And then I want the cat to come along and scratch your eyes. We're going to go ahead and up here right now. Have a wonderful night and see you next time, guys.
Peace out.